faculty, mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Strachan Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Hey, everybody, AM 1230 WJOB, ready to go, about 15 minutes late. I don't know what happened. I guess some of the stuff must have gone off overnight and then restarted, and it just took a little while. So, hey, we're in the old part of Hammond, but I never really lost the radio this morning. I mean, well, until I got here and turned it on. But as said, it is going to be still only a high of 30 today, maybe some flurries. Tomorrow, high of 37. That'll be, I think, 20 days in a row not making it above freezing. It's not a record by any chance, but it certainly has been a drag, and then it's going to get cold again on Saturday and Sunday, so just enjoy the one day. Can you guys tell me if I am now on YouTube? It took quite a bit of work to get there. And I think I should be. And hello, there we are. There I am on YouTube. All right, guys. Thanks. Don't be funny. Hey, he is Brent Brazier. Brent, how are you?
I'm good. It's fun. Oh, there you go. Perfect mixing, Jim. This is my first time in the new studio.
This isn't the new studio. This studio you're sitting in was built in 1955.
Really?
Yeah, so...
Now, would Gene Shepard have been in here?
No, Gene Shepard was here in the 40s, I think. But that's when they were above what they known as the Milliken Sporting Good Building in downtown Hammond, and they just had a little, like, TV antenna on top of the building. Then they came over here. I'm going to sneeze like 4 times now. I've been getting that old man thing where it just starts sneezing, a little bit of dust in the air. I wear my Doc's sweatshirt all the time, and people stop me. Hey, dude. Oh, I love going there. Oh, I love the Dead. Where'd you get that? And so it's a very sought-after sweatshirt.
Thank you. You know, we're almost sold out. I have a few left. And
how much did I pay for it? I think it was a special.
I think I paid you to wear it, probably. It was your Christmas present.
It was very nice of you to come up with that. Hey, Brent Brazier joining me. I'm Jim Dedelow, host of the morning show here on WJOB. And I've got a long day. I got a bunch of podcasts after this, but we do have a number of things to hit right away. First of all, Brent Brazier is one of the purveyors of
fine meats.
Fine meats.
As Mac would say.
Yeah, dead air. All right, well, let me see if I'm on the radio. I think I should be.
We're just talking to ourselves here?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Where'd I put the radio? Well, somebody texted me, am I on the radio? Someone says dead air, but I don't think that could be the case. I left the radio in the other room. I'm going to talk as if we're on YouTube and we're on the radio. So will somebody text me, just say, hey, Jed, you're on the radio. That's all you got to do, because otherwise I have to go to the other room to see if that's the case. Testing, test. You know what? No one's texting, so we may be.
I mean, I haven't got anything from Goddard yet. So.
I know. Nobody has told us. I'm like, we could just be talking to ourselves.
We're going to do a whole 2 hours by ourselves in here.
No one's going to say, hey, how come you guys were not this morning? Literally. All right. So I got to run over there. Can you talk as if
Yeah.
we're on the radio? I got to go get the radio to make sure that we're on the radio. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, it's good to be here in this unique new studio. I see my buddy Bob Starkey's building the TV studio out there. Are you coming back? Are we on now?
Yeah.
It's I'm excited to see the future of JOB here, or the Return to the Past.
Where did I put my...
What was that Chick Corea album, Return to Forever?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good album.
All right, there you go. So a bunch of people all of a sudden texted, said you are on the radio. Oh, you know
So
what?
that's everybody listening. Just
Yeah,
called in
just
to
the
let us
7
know.
people that just texted. Yeah, I thought it was more than that. And then I'm also on Udemy, so hey, it is what it is. Oh, it's nice to be here, though. You know, I'm so glad to be home, and part of it is
It's a cool space. I mean, I'm this. So when I was in college, I was a host on WEGL, the Auburn student-run station.
I didn't know that. That's why you're so into this.
Yeah, I loved it.
Kind of like
you-
Starkey. I mean, you get.
I'm not like Starkey. He's much. He gets into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
I like sitting there and talking. But yeah, no, you had to take a class and get a license, and then you had to read the news for a while, and then I was the host of the Blues radio show, 10 to midnight on 91.1 The Blues.
Can you do the voice that you would, like?
I don't know. I probably sounded a lot different back then.
Come on.
I've moved. When I go home, or when my sister and her kids were up over Christmas, and my sister's like, you don't sound like you're from Alabama anymore.
Uh-oh.
Which to people up here, I do. But if you heard my mother talk, you would be. But I think I go back down there and it comes right back. It definitely comes back after a couple of bourbons.
All right, let's hear a couple things here. First of all, you and I haven't been on since Bob Weir died of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, that was a terrible, sad thing.
Where were you when Jerry Garcia died?
I was at Auburn University.
Doing what? Do you remember the day?
I don't know. They're kind of a blur.
You went to Auburn, that's right.
Yeah. No, we went to the local band, one of the big bands that was playing that night, switched their set to All Dead and invited all the local, like the different bands that had, back then in college, everybody had a band and everybody played some Dead songs, right? We didn't have DJs or anything like they do now. And we stayed in a bar till about 3 a.m. with just this long jam session of some good and some not. But, it was I'd seen him once with the Jerry Band and about 5 times with the Dead.
I forgot how young you are.
I just had a birthday.
So what year did Jerry die, like 95?
95, yeah.
So you were still in college? Was
Yeah.
it like the best 7 years of your life or something, or what?
No.
When did you graduate college?
97.
Oh, really? God, in 1995, I already had, I had 3 kids.
That's 29 years ago. Do the math.
Dang.
I mean, yeah. I'm just some young whippersnapper. I get mail from the AARP. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's coming up, man. I love that magazine.
I'm waiting for the discounts, buddy.
So, it's our job to kind of talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the Calumet region and around the state. The state legislature is in session right now, and there's a whole bunch of people upset about NIPSCO. I saw it on all the news stations last night.
Count me as one of them.
Yeah, and I know it's very, very, expensive for people. And I had the guy on, and he explained it, and I didn't, it was just like I didn't really kind of.
My records that are digitized go back to 2019. Everything else is in files, and that we put the paper in a warehouse. But my power bill at work has doubled.
In how many years?
What's that? 19? Does it beat 6, 7? I mean, straight up doubled.
So what do you do with that?
It's what what do I not do with it? I don't spend it on new equipment. I don't put a new coat of paint on, which is something I got to do anyway. But I mean, that's what it is.
This is going to get really obnoxious because I don't know how to get around it. But I need to put these babies on. So here we go. But
yeah, I mean, you're seeing. I saw. I think it was one of the Region News Source posts, but people were talking, and one lady was like, "My sister lives in Vermont or Maine or somewhere in the Northeast, and the delivery charge on this lady in Maryville, I think she said it was $149." Was the delivery charge, not what you're paying for the gas or the power. And that was within $10 of her sister's entire bill in the Northeast. So, I mean, I think that there needs to be something done. I mean, we have to pay some of the highest power costs in the nation, right?
It's not good, yes. But see, here's what I didn't understand. I had the Parisi guy, the president of NIPSCO, the other day. Mm-hmm. So he said there's 3 reasons, but the main one is that gas has gone up, and then it's been cold. By the way, can you clip that up to 65? I turned it down to 60 overnight. And then the third is the delivery charge, because it's per, how much gas you use. So as more gas you use, the more delivery charge you get. And I think that's part of what people are upset about right now. That's basically the money.
So NIPSCO's position is our power bills are more expensive because it's cold.
Well,
so it's going to go way down in the summer?
The gas, you're talking your gas bill right now. So they had a march yesterday, and I was watching.
But I mean, gas is one thing, but the electric is up too.
The electric is up 19%, I think, if I remember correctly, right? So you're getting actually the quadruple whammy. Your electric is up. Your gas is up in 3 different areas. And
it's caused my bill to double over 6 years.
And what is it from like last year? You notice it if you haven't.
It's up. I mean, I went back and looked as far as I could look just to see what do we used to pay, and it was half.
Now, like it's your first time here, right?
Yeah.
So
I walked almost all the way around the building looking for the door
to get in the.
I parked on the other side of your car, so I'm like, well, this window's here. It must be this way.
So on the other side there is 4,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's 5,600, so we heat like 1,200 square feet. Mm-hmm. And I'm not heating the rest of the building because we're here for like 3 hours in the morning. Then it's a virtual company. We do all Riverside meetings, and I do my podcast from home. So there's no really reason to pay that kind of money. But there's one problem. Now, you're going to go to the bathroom at some point, right?
Hopefully I'm not going to be sitting down.
Joe Cimino, the guy here, he used to leave for long breaks to go to the bathroom and kind of leave.
Turn that around.
No, man, he's just right back.
No, so that happened to us in Docks last week. We had a blower on an HVAC unit burn up, and had to have it. It was only down for about 8 hours, but it's the unit that does like the back half of, not the back half, probably the back third of the restaurant, but it includes the bathrooms, and the bathrooms were freezing all day. But what do you do?
I might have been there at one of the then.
Yeah, it was one day last week. We had the fire department. Smoke started coming out of the things. Yeah,
but I just
the pleasures of owning a small business.
I just remember the bathroom being cold, and here it's literally. I mean, pretty soon.
Kind of helps with productivity, though.
You want to know something? I'll take some calls over after the next break. We'll get into it, but I I interviewed from my kitchen table the cow guy yesterday. We're doing a podcast.
Please tell him I said hello.
It's unbelievable stuff. He wanted to tell the story of incredible tragedy and death in his life, and he wanted to talk about how you bounce back from it. And I do it online. He's now in Nashville, and he's got a national TV show. He's on Fox.
I think he's the highest rated show on that network.
Yeah, and I mean he's a big
I watch
deal
him. So if I'm at home and in the afternoon when he's on, I love watching him because I just scraped the surface of understanding what he's talking about when it comes to the commodities markets, but I love listening to Scott's stories.
And he's got some amazing stories. And,
lived in England for a while.
We're both Board of Trade guys, so I have to kind of bring him back to not talking like a Board of Trade guy, which is a lot of F-bombs and, just making fun of each other.
I still think my idea for the podcast of getting you and him and Maloney and some of your buddies and telling those stories.
Maloney is an anomaly. And he wants to do a Board of Trade podcast.
Yeah, no, he and I have talked.
And I told him, and I said,
he turned me on to that one.
Like brokers, bagmen, and moles.
Yeah,
or
that one
like
was
that.
great.
Yeah.
And he knew people. He was like, yeah, I knew that guy. And I just think it's a fascinating, the center of the financial world was a bunch of guys from the region. I mean, like, really?
South Side, and it wasn't too many real educated
he's
people.
Like, at one time the day closed, and I owned like half the corn in the United States. And I was like, wow. And he's like, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good, man, because once they know you got it, they push the price down so they can buy it from you lower.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about how much that used to drive the global economic system, and now it's all in the ether, right? I mean, that's
now
why Scott's
it's
in Nashville.
corporate. Yeah, now it's all corporate, and it was individuals.
Do they even have any live?
No, I think there's like one or two
some kind of currency.
little options or currencies or something. I mean, it's basically all gone away. But, Maloney's been bugging me to do that podcast.
I know.
And,
here's my idea for it. Myself, as a guy who only understands it a little bit, let me ask you guys questions. And I'm sure you never talk about it. You have PTSD, right? But
I don't. I mean,
I love
that's what it comes down to. Is that I'm talking with Scott and I'm pulling his stories out, and then he'll go, "Well, you know that, Jim, and look what." Oh, yeah, but and then I realize, or even here, do I tell Board of Trade stories? Very rarely, if any. I mean, because it's not something that I'm prepared to talk about. Now, to sit there with Maloney and with Cow Guy and talk about, a lot of the – did you leave that door open? You left that door open.
The front door?
No, this door right here. Because
is that letting the cold air in?
That's letting the cold air in. It's like outside there.
I can barely even get back here. You got to go through like 18 doors.
So the answer to that is, I do the podcast at home, and everybody works at home, so we don't need it much. So you are leaving the door to the studio open, which it's like 28 degrees right out there. But that's not. I forget where I'm going.
Keeping your pipes from freezing, buddy.
No, I come here and I turn the water off every night.
Hey, Paul says you need to work on the lighting. It's too dark.
Oh, I didn't turn the lights on yet. It's the internet was.
Hey,
out.
how about that, Paul? It doesn't need to work on him. He just needs to turn them on.
I didn't turn them. And you were sitting there. I go, man, he looks dark. Better turn the lights on. Oh, anyways, what were we talking about? The Cow Guy. So I got the Cow Guy. I got the Weezer pod. You know what happened at Doc's at your place? So Will Glaros calls me up and he says, "Hey Jim, I want to talk to you about something." I host the Limb Walkers podcast.
Oh, I listen to it a lot. Yeah. I know Will really well. Great guy.
Yeah,
another guy with some really cool stories.
And we sit down, and he's very, Shager and Eric Horn from the Times were there, and they wanted to kind of josh, "Hey, Jed, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey, Will's all serious here." So I go, "All right, Will, what's up?" And we sit down, and he goes, "Hey, man, I don't know how you're going to take this, but I don't want you on my podcast anymore."
You got fired?
I don't have to do your podcast anymore. And I go,
so
well,
you got free time to do the Board of Trade one.
yeah. So I go, okay, good enough, right? So I get my car, sitting in your parking lot, and Jim Weezer calls me. Hey, Jim, how you doing? And my condolences to him. This was right.
I was about to say.
Yeah. And he goes, hey, I think it's time. I think it was like the day after, 2 days after his wife passed. Jim Weezer's wife, Jackie, died, the former Munster teacher. And he goes, man, I've been thinking about it, but, I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything. But I want you off my podcast. I want to do it alone. So I go in about 45 minutes.
You got all this free time.
Tells me he wants me, doesn't want me. Weezer tells me he doesn't want me. I can't wait till the cow guy tells me this.
You don't have to do much with a cow guy. He can carry the story.
Literally 8-10-minute stories.
Yeah. He used to I got to know him out at the hangar where a lot of stories are told. And I used to love, he's a really smart guy and has a unique perspective. I like him a lot.
The part that, he shopped his podcast around, and there were big companies that were going to take it. And I told him, I go, first of all, if you do it here, I know the Board of Trade, and I'm pretty decent at hosting a podcast. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to come here, and I'm going to interview, and that's it. I go, all of the distribution, the marketing, the graphics, the editing of it, the podcast network here is run by a 22-year-old young woman, and you're going to have to take orders from her. Can you handle that? And he hangs up the phone. He says, what the hell are you talking about? He hangs up the phone. He goes and he shops his podcast around. And then he comes back, and he's got a couple offers, and he goes into his office, and he goes, it's like, I work from home, but once a month I go down there, and it's all these 20-somethings. And I sit down with him. I go, all right, you three come in here, will you? I need your opinion on, I'm going to do my podcast here, or with this guy I know at a little radio station, and this 22-year-old girl is going to tell me what to do. And hands down, the 20-something said, don't go there, don't go there. Go with the 22-year-old woman and do everything that she says, because you need to reach that. You need to reach that audience. And I'm like, whoa. He calls me up. He goes, when do we start? I'm like, okay. And I won't do that. I'm not going to do Maloney. I could go call him right now. Go see him for breakfast. But I will do the Cow Guys podcast. There's one other kind of a big name that the guy's kind of hovering around if he wants to do the podcast, and I will do that. But,
well, and I think that's good for your business. So I listen to a ton of podcasts, right?
That's all I listen to.
I'm driving all the time. I listen to one to go to sleep at night. But a lot of times when I find one I like, I will look at who made it. Like if you're on Spotify, I can't remember the names of them, but I know there's 2 or 3 that I've saved that production company. And then I like, they might do 20 podcasts, but I might like 5 or 6 of them. So you're not, sometimes you'll for me at least, I'll be searching for something and looking for something to listen to, and you're like, oh, this sounds cool, but then the production's terrible. It's just 2 people talking without much, editing of the story and that kind of thing, and it
gets to you as a radio guy, right? That's what you wanted to grow.
Well, you want to
hear,
I just don't want. When I listen to a podcast, I don't like just an hour of people talking back and forth, right? There has to be some continuity, especially if it's discussing, explaining a news event or a story. It needs to be edited, and you find the iHeartMedia has they have a good group of podcasts, I've noticed. But
yeah, there's I forget what's the one I look at, but we've got our own network now, and now we're going to probably, I think we have 20. We'll probably get it down to 10 or so.
Oh, but
people will go there and they will
somebody
listen
going
to 2
for
or
looking
3
for
of them.
the cow guy, because he's pretty, well-known guy, and then all of a sudden your other ones are going to get listens. I think that, at least from my perspective, that's how that works. I could be.
Well, what do you want to talk about? Epstein? You want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I read something yesterday, and maybe you can fill me in on it. The the Lake County Republicans wrote a letter because there's something, and again, I don't have the details, but down in Indianapolis, they put something in the bill that had to do with this possible Bear Stadium, and they weren't going to use they weren't going to make them use unions, or they weren't going to let them sign a labor agreement or something. And it was interesting because I know Randy Niemeyer was, and I like Randy a lot, was one of the authors of the letter, saying, hey, we have the best skilled trades in the country here, and we're small G government Republicans. Why are we telling a private entity how they should build their building? And I thought that was interesting. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Well, I think what they call it project labor agreements. That you have to pay the prevailing wage, and
it's pretty common for these.
Yeah, it's pretty common around here, and it doesn't make any sense to me that the Bears, who buys all those season tickets, but like electricians making $120,000, right? And that's their big splurge. That was. There's a lot of union people that support the Bears, no matter where you build.
Well, and the Bears are. I mean, from I don't know if it was that letter that they wrote or the article with it, but the Bears are already very union friendly. The workers at Soldier Field are unionized. They have all these things. So why would they move here and get rid of the unions?
Yeah,
why do the Republicans in Indianapolis want that to happen?
I think I
Bears
thought about that.
Bears don't seem to have a problem with it, do they?
I went and stood in line with Randy Palmatier, the head of the building trades.
He was in the article
at Weezer's at Jackie's wake, and waited in line, and we talked about a ton of union things. So he did mention that. And
are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
I am now, but he never said anything. I'm like, well, what else is going on?
I think it only came out yesterday. I mean, they probably have been working on it.
And I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? Because now you also have this,
I was going to ask you because I didn't really understand it.
We're going to take a break, and I'm going to bring up the article and find it. But they're also, they're going at it at BP and all the people that operate the refinery. So, I've been looking at what is, the unions are pretty strong right now, especially around here. And I was like, God, why would BP do that? I mean, it's like a nickel to them to, moving a few,
I'm not for to explain the BP thing.
Well, so I think what they're doing is they want, I got to hit a break. I got a text here from Adriana. Let me take a quick break, and I'll be right back on the voice and face of the region.
Are you sausage curious?
Who's ready for Polish?
Big Frank Sausage has the very best Polish food in the region.
You had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage?
We have a full bar, dine-in, carry-out, delivery, and catering available.
I've had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
I've got a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
219-378-9556. Smacznego i na zdrowie.
Who's ready for Polish?
For over 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
AM 1230 AM 1230 WJOB 104.7 FM. Also streaming live on YouTube right now if you want to watch us for a few more days in these temporary studios. We will be here, and then we're building a brand new TV studio out there. So there's a lot of union stuff here. I think I'm getting a bunch of texts, and I will hit on that. But right now I want to take a look at traffic. 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. Bishop Ford, Dan Ryan, Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moving along well. In terms of the weather, yes, we have no bananas. It's still not going to get over 32 degrees. High of 30 today, mostly cloudy with occasional snow and flurries, mainly early. a stray flurry late in the day. Tomorrow, high of 37, so it'll be the first day in 21 days that it actually got over freezing. A bit of freezing drizzle in the morning, mostly cloudy and breezy with a flurry in the afternoon. Roads could be slippery for the morning commute. Then by Saturday, again, it is a high of only 23. Brent Brazier is here. He is one of the owners at Doc's Barbecue in Dyer. They also have one in downtown Milwaukee. If you ever get up that way, go there. They're right kind of in the middle of everything there. And here they are in Dyer on Calumet Avenue. You know, before we talk about the unions, let's go in that same vein, okay, about the workforce. Now, this is awful, but the Washington Post just said they're getting rid of a third of all their journalists.
It's basically closed.
It's going down like 40% of their people.
So I was listening to the news last night. I can't remember what channel.
Can you talk while I turn the lights on?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can hear you still. Go ahead.
But it's losing money as a lot of those traditional media outlets make the transition to digital. They were operating at a loss or breaking even or something, and so Jeff Bezos, the owner, they made a bunch of cuts, and they got rid of their international division. There's no more sports. I used to subscribe to the Washington Post. Now I just get it in the little news app. But because I think they have great writers, right? I mean that's where Watergate was broken. I mean it's kind of a historic thing. But so he made these cuts, and they got their it's like a shell of what it was. But in the amount of money that Jeff Bezos makes in 7 days, he could have fully funded the Washington Post for the next 5 years. So he bought it for, I think, $250 million 10 years ago, and he was worth about $25 billion. He built a boat right after that was $500 million, and he's now worth $250 billion. So he's worth 10 times the money. So I don't know. I think the lack of real journalism kind of going by the wayside, as opposed to so many more people now get their news from social media, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it doesn't always have the same standards as like professional print media that has to get their sources and they document everything. And it's not to say they don't ever get stuff wrong, but as opposed to me deciding to report on something from a podcast studio, and my sources and methods and the way I document things might not be the same way, right? I think there's a place for both. I definitely enjoy listening to people that I didn't know, that I found a podcast where they talk about current events, right? But I think having the New York Times, the Post,
I disagree. I think that it's going away.
No, I think it is.
I don't think that like podcasts are on the rise. I mean, we can't do enough. I mean, streaming. Streaming. Sports,
I'm a guy
but the traditional news media is dead. I mean,
I used to read at least 2 papers every day. I read USA Today, and I read the paper of whatever town I lived in. Because when I was a kid, we got the paper twice a day. We got a morning paper and an afternoon paper. And I've always read the paper. I started out reading the funny pages, and then I got into the sports page. And then as I got older, I read the whole paper. And I mean, I used to enjoy going and picking up the Sunday paper, sitting down with a cup of coffee and reading it. Well, I don't read it anymore. I haven't bought I couldn't tell you the last time
I haven't had a paper in my hand.
I don't even know where you buy a paper.
Yeah, there's a couple of 7-Elevens you can.
But used to there was a paper box everywhere, right? I mean, I'm dating myself here, but especially like when I traveled, when I would travel for work, if I was in Richmond, I would read whatever paper. When you check into a hotel, they're like, "Do you want the paper?" They used to say that, and you would say, "Yeah." And so I would be in Denver or Louisville or wherever, and I'd get the local paper in the USA Today. And I did that every day for most of my adult life till probably the last 10 or 15 years when I don't really get the paper anymore. I have an Apple News. I pay the 10 or 12 bucks a month, and I've got access to all of those things. But I think that those historical big news organizations, so like I noticed like they cut out their foreign, they eliminated the foreign international desk, right? So the Washington Post used to have a bureau in London, and they had an editor and some reporters. So if something happened in London,
Australia, Pakistan, they got people at the Olympics right now. They just laid them off while they were at the Olympics. And the one dude, the main dude, I've read his stuff. He said, "Oh, well, I'm here now. I might as well just start my new thing." And now he's just posting all this stuff to social media. So, I think
that's where like Substack and those things like that is the direction.
I wrote a big Substack this morning, and I just started this up, and I love it. I think I got 163 subscribers already, and you guys could go there and subscribe to my Substack. I don't really promote it, and I think I'm going to start, but I don't think this is bad. That the corporate media is getting pulled down and pulled away. Now, you would think that I would be in favor of it because I own a radio station, right? But the radio station is only a distribution outlet.
Well, so let me ask you this. So you're in favor of that?
I'm in favor of more and more people getting into it.
So how do we get news from London? We just pick up somebody in London.
There's all sorts of services. There's all sorts of independent services. You see, this is why.
There was a level. I have a level of trust with the Washington Post that it's a professional organization. They're running a news office in Beijing, and there's a guy in Beijing who works for the Washington Post who's been, he had to get the job. He's probably studied to be a journalist or gotten a lot of experience, and you can more or less trust. He's not just making stuff up out of whole cloth, right? I mean, and so how do you determine in the new environment who you can trust and who's actually telling the truth? Because it's hard.
I know what some of the callers, 219-845-1100, by the way.
How do you decide
what they would say is like you're getting bamboozled by the corporate media, and I'd much rather have an independent guy.
I'd rather be bamboozled by somebody that I can't know if I'm being bamboozled by.
Okay, well,
right?
So
we're gonna go. I'm gonna go on Twitter and I'm gonna search for China, and there's gonna be 1 million posts on China, and I'm gonna be like, oh, this guy has something that he's talking about the Chinese soybean purchases from China. How do I know who that is?
There are smaller.
Do you get the point that I'm making?
You're projecting the method of thought that you grew up with and you've always known, whereas the flow of information is entirely different. And I tell young people,
much of it is BS.
You know how many resumes we're getting now, and how many intern applications and so forth. The only way we take an intern, I won't take any. I'm done. There's no they can't.
You always want a little free labor, Jed. I know.
No, but you see, here's the thing. But if somebody comes in, to get them to where they need to know how to operate all this stuff is about 6 months of training. So that's like tens of thousands of dollars training them. Yeah. And then it just doesn't work. It's not the model. I think the model will change once education catches up with it, and then they send somebody that already knows how to use AI and to broadcast on their phone and can use all these systems. Now they got people over there running Ray Rayner cameras out of the 1980s, and it's not just Purdue Northwest. It's all of them. So they're bringing all these kids in with communications degrees, and I'm like, man, you know what, if you're doing that, get a business degree with it, or if you're going to get communications, then get along with it, like a software programming or something of that nature. So there's one of the women does the Region Angels podcast. She used to be here, and she comes in on Fridays. And gosh, if I could remember her name, but we were talking. She used to be on the news, and so she said, "Hey, do you have room for this intern, or can you take that one? They'll be free." And this, no, I can't. She goes, "I can't believe this. I went around to every media outlet in Chicago to try to place these two kids. Nobody is taking interns. It's just not what they're doing." And you see the massive layoffs of all the journalists. I mean, have already been decimated.
Well, there's
now
a difference in the technical skill of doing this and the actual art of reporting news, right? It's two different things to me.
It is, but I mean,
so we're teaching everybody how to put it out, who are we teaching how to gather it?
Goddard doesn't have any training. He's got 230,000 people on his Facebook.
Right, and you can trust Paul. I trust Paul because I know him. I've followed him for years. So what I'm saying, how do you determine who you can trust in that environment?
Okay,
without
but
some
no,
sort of.
Why do you
but
trust?
Paul also.
He's just an independent guy.
But he has a brand, and he's built that brand over time, and we know of it. And we know that if Paul puts it on a Region News Source, it's true.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, I mean, I think
so.
Hold on a second. Now, even like Paul in the beginning, he was putting some stuff up there, and he was kind of putting his little opinion in on it too. And I had a couple come to Jesus with him. I'm like, come on, Paul, you can't do that. You want to be taken seriously. You have
and
to
he does
extract that. Now when he puts it up there, I agree. For maybe in the first few months or year or so, he's
been doing it a long time.
He's never been trained by a university. I like reading them too. So why would we have to have Paul Goddard go get trained by a Northwestern Medill journalism school?
You're missing my point. I'm not saying that there's people in that independent ecosphere, and Paul's a perfect example of this, who are trustworthy. In my mind, he's established himself as, man, if something happens in the region, I can go to the Region News Source page or a subscriber page, and I can find out about it.
Exactly. And if it's really big.
And I know if it's coming from him, it's accurate.
So why can't that be extrapolated to others?
It could. But I know Paul. I've followed Paul for years, and he has developed a reputation. If you are just going out, I'm trying to think of an example of this. If there's a crime in Poughkeepsie, how do you know all these people in Poughkeepsie are going to be making posts about it? Because I'm going to search crime number A in Poughkeepsie. How do I know who the Paul is of Poughkeepsie? How am I able to verify that in my own mind?
I mean,
that's the point I'm trying to make.
There's a good point to that, but I just think it's very.
For every Paul out there, there's a whole bunch of people putting out absolute BS.
So
right?
When Bezos gets rid of 320 journalists in one swoop with just an X on a pen, I understand it. I mean, the whole model is gone. The news business isn't there. The podcasting business.
So that's kind of crazy that a guy like Bezos would have paid that much for something that he knew was going in the tank. Or do you think it just surprised him?
It's like the one.
Look you're talking about the guy that came up with Amazon. He didn't have the foresight to know that the legacy print media was probably a dying thing.
How about
when he bought it?
Warren Buffett buying like the Times and all those things, and then looking and going, "Oh, this isn't going to work," and then just getting out of it. And there's a lot of people that have done that. Now, the journalism itself is a really hard sell. And not only that, they have legacy costs that, they got all these buildings and all the it's just.
When you can do it from your apartment.
Yeah, you could do it from your apartment. But what I'm worried about is all the young people that are coming up and they can't find any jobs. I mean, good ones, like really good young people that are 25 years old.
Go to the trades.
One guy here got a communications. I think he even went back for a little bit of business, and he can't find a real, media job. I think he's going to go into the union. I mean, I've been pushing them. I'm like, hey, listen.
Great job.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a great.
I don't know. There's even in the restaurant field right now. I mean, with all of the weed that comes out, people don't drink as much. You know that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was
the restaurant business is in a huge contraction.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's just a story. Pizza Hut's closing a gajillion locations.
Yeah, did you see that last 2 nights ago?
It's hard, man. As media has changed, right? The media ecosphere in the last 20 years has changed. The restaurant business has been a shorter time span, but I can tell you my professional career is BC and AC, before COVID and after COVID, because it is two different businesses. I don't operate the same way, and it's taken me. I'm still figuring it out. I had it pretty figured out, right? When I started Docs, I had spent a career doing the same thing, and I took what I learned and I applied those principles to Docs, and we were successful.
All right, so let's compare notes. So, all right, I got this sports network that is way bigger than WJOB is. Now, I don't know how that happened, right? So we're growing, 30% a year, right, in revenues. And I look this year or at the end of 2025, I'm like, how could you grow that much in revenues and have your costs grow just the same amount, right?
Yeah.
Or, even grow more. And then I looked around and I'm like, everything we buy, including labor, is up 30%. Everything. I mean, like all of these software programs, every time we go to buy a piece of equipment, I'd be like, oh, it's $200 before. Oh, no, it's $290 now. So as a small business, maybe you do okay on your revenues. I mean, you figure out how to market and you do it right. But the costs, I mean, even the rent over there was crazy how it kept going up. I'm like,
look at the power bill. It's out of my control.
Yeah.
I can't manage the power differently. We turn off all the lights, we run the heat back, but the power we use to operate our business is the power we use.
By the way, it's freezing in here because you left the door open and it just won't warm up yet. We got to take a break. We'll be right back and take your phone calls. He's Brent Brazier. I'm Jim Dedelow. We're going to have John Doherty, a little bit of a promo of the sportsmanship, but every once in a while I just like to shoot the breeze. Be right back.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
For a fast and friendly car wash, go to Easy Clean Car Wash. Open 7 days a week in 4 convenient locations: Highland, Griffith, Cherville, and Lansing. Free vacuuming, air freshener, and a towel with every wash. It's fast, safe, and gentle. For more information and hours of all our locations, visit myeasyclean.com. Also, see how you can wash your car daily with our $10 Ultimate Wash for only $19.99 per month. Give your car the best clean at Easy Clean Car Wash.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com. Yes, it does. That's how I got here. 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks okay. And Bishop Ford up the gut of the Southland, that looks all right. So it's really kind of a little bit lighter than it has been, except for going into the tin mill, right?
Yeah, that's what Mark Koppel said. The tin mill. Let me find it again.
Koppel.
Traffic back up at the 10 Mill Gate. 2 ILS hit the bridge and peeled the trailers. What is ILS?
I don't know.
He'll probably respond and tell me.
ILS.
Dave Gearman says we sound like Stephen Hawking's. It's buffeting real bad.
What is?
The audio.
On YouTube or on...
let me ask him.
Yeah, I think the radio's fine. See, I don't even want to be on YouTube. So what's the difference? Can
you do the Facebook? I mean, I remember I used to always watch on Facebook. Do you do that anymore?
For some of the basketball. So
no, I mean for the radio
I
station.
think what's happening right now.
The radio, he says.
The radio? Oh, it shouldn't be at all. It should be fine. Maybe that's from me just babbling around and stuff. Well, you got to talk first. So let's take a couple phone calls. 219-845-1100, and let's go to this one here. This one's been waiting a long time. Hey, you are on the air. How are you? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. You're on the air. All right.
Hello.
All right. Let me see if I've done something wrong, huh? Loco morocho shishma. All right.
I also get the radio is fine.
Yeah. I don't know what the guy's talking about. I'm not getting the audio off of here, so what do we do here? You want to help me fix this?
That's a good one.
Is that a good one?
I didn't get that training.
Get this training
when I learned how to
school?
Hey, when I learned how to do it in 1993, it was on a big board, and you had all these sliders you moved up and down.
All right. Well, I can't.
We played records.
So, well, sorry, I can't bring the phone call in yet because I can't figure out how to.
Hopefully, Adriana will be here soon that knows how to run.
I told her not to come in because I would be here and I knew how to operate everything. So, sorry about that. Well, let me see here. Well, what do you want to talk about? I ever tell you about the time that I had Dave Werpel, you know him?
Yeah, I know
He's
Dave.
a Hammond councilman. And he's sitting right here. And he comes in to do the story, do the show, right? And we're sitting here, and finally I go, hey, I got to go to the bathroom. He goes, what do you mean you got to go to the bathroom? I go, just take a couple phone calls, and then, I'll be back. And I went to the bathroom, and I'm hanging out. And then somebody came in, and I started talking to him, and I figured out the guy could handle it, right? Well, he didn't know how to hang up on people, right? So he brought somebody in, and then all of a sudden he's hitting things, and then it's the dial tone on the air. And I come back, and I come around the corner over there, and I hear him go, Jim! Jim! He's all freaked out. So I would never do that to you.
Well, thanks, because I would just probably keep talking and say, I don't know what's going on here.
So for some reason...
So we want to take your calls as soon as we figure out how.
All right, let's try another one, see if that happens. So what happened is Chuck Pullen brought this. And
Hey, Jimmy.
Oh, there's somebody.
Hey, is Mad Mac there?
Hey, Jimmy, listen.
Can you
There's
talk
only
up a little bit?
Can you
talk?
hit.
Can you talk up a little?
Listen, don't start with your silly I'm on gummies routine, okay? Good Lord.
I figured it out. Sorry.
Actually, the last thing I was going to tell you is what you don't get about media and about newspapers and on-air broadcasting, et cetera, is it doesn't matter what technology you think you have or the brilliance and production and all your la. It's about quality. Why does Goddard have a successful operation? Because he does one little thing. He reports on these incidents that go around, but he tells what happened. Nothing more, nothing less.
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
no
not,
argument there.
Yeah, there's no argument there. What is your point? We just said that.
The reason the Washington Post and the New York Times are in so much trouble because they lie.
See,
the reason why all three national networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS, the reason they suck is because they lie. Just tell the news. But you got to have quality. Why is The Front Room one of your most popular shows? Because it's quality entertainment.
No, I'm the most popular
Some of these
show.
other things you got are doing
Well,
squat.
so okay,
dude.
So Matt, this is hypothetical, and you and I agree on
And
this.
radio quality is fine, by the way. Radio signal's perfect.
Okay, so if I want to get news about what happens, so say yesterday or Tuesday, they were voting on the shutdown in the legislature in Washington. And I want to find news about what's going on in for the vote. Or is it going to pass? Is it not going to pass? How do I find the Paul Goddard of Washington, D.C. that's telling me that? How do I determine who that is? Because there's a million yokels up there writing stuff that you don't know if it's true or not.
Right. Do you?
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I want to. I don't have a problem with independent people doing it. And Paul's a perfect example of somebody that is honest, puts out the facts. But I know that, and you know that, because we followed Paul for so long, and we see what he says is what's true. We can see it in our world, right? If Paul Goddard says there's an 18-wheeler tipped over on Calumet Avenue and they found a bunch of drugs in it, I know that happened. I can drive by and see it happening, and I know Paul has talked to the policemen that were there, and it was true. Now, if I want to find out and I'm like, hey, is this thing going to pass? Is the government open or not? And I go and look on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and there's people who I don't know if they're really in Washington. And I think this is a perfect example. I saw people saying that a bunch of the Republicans the Freedom Caucus was going to vote against it, and it was going to end up being one of these longer things. Those people clearly didn't know what they were talking about. There's also reporters who make a living. They get paid to cover the legislature, and they're walking around talking to all these congressmen because they know them and they're there. And they're saying, it looks like it's going to pass by a vote or two, which is what happened. How do I figure out, not living in Washington, D.C., not having a news organization that has their name behind these people, how do I know who is telling the truth and who's not?
All right, you ready?
Yes.
You got two ears. You put one hand down one and one hand down the other, and you pray to God there's a brain in there. You have to figure this out on your own. The reason you do is because the barriers of entry to be in the news business are so low, anybody can do it.
Right.
So you have to get used to going over this source and reading from here and there, and then over time you figure out who you can trust. Back in the day, when you only had 3 places to find the news, it was a different deal. But that's not the case now. The Internet has provided you with the entire planet Earth at the tip of your fingers, so you've got to figure it out partially on your own.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point.
Hold on a second. I never thought I would say this, but I completely agree. Mad Mac.
This is it. We all agree. I think what you said is absolutely correct.
All right, he's done.
No, I think that was, but he's a very good point. He's like, you read all these different things, and then you figure it out for yourself.
You know, if Adriana was here or Lynette, they would be making us talk about like some important.
I think this is
current
important.
event thing instead of just screwing around.
Well, you think about.
You know what? You can't just come in here and screw around all the time, Brent. They're not going to let you in here. Look at Starkey. Starkey comes in with a big, long thing, color-coded topics, 6:04 to 6:12. He's going to talk about this. And
I won an extemporaneous speaking contest in 7th grade. I don't use notes.
Let's take another phone call. 219. Did Doherty figure out the lockbox?
No.
Hey,
Good morning.
What are you doing?
Yeah, hey Brett, you're talking about Paul. Now, I knew him before I ever got into most of this technology. Well, I knew what he was, Well, anyhow, he reports the news, and he reports it right to the fact. Like you said, the fact. And every night before I go to bed, I go to his site, and I see the real news. The real news in our area. Okay, now my page. See, I had a website for like 17 years for my racing, and I saw what the website was doing. It was going down the drain because people were on Facebook. So when I switched everything over to Facebook, everything went up. But on my page, I report good events, parades, festivals, stuff like that.
Mike's ground to air.
A lot of people, yeah, but I got a lot of people. I've got one lady. She can't get out of the house because of her health and stuff, and she just loves my site because I show good things that go on this area, that she can't go to. I love Paul's site because
I do too.
Yeah, and I watch his site but now I don't post it on my page because my page is set up to show good entertainment. Paul is to report the news.
And he does a good job of it.
Anytime the Black Hawk helicopters are flying over Munster, I can always look on Paul's page and find out why.
He doesn't have a life.
Yeah, and I mean, that's
he'll
the
get that
thing
joke.
About, Brett, like you said, that's the real news. You want to, I don't read any other newspaper sites because one day I was on the site and they were talking about the IU football college Big Ten playoffs and everything, and somebody was saying that the coach of IU got fired. Well, my boss and his son and all of them went to IU, and I call him on the phone. I says, "Hey, what's the deal?" I says, "It's posted here on, I think it was on Google."
I saw that story.
The coach got fired.
Yeah, it wasn't real, right?
It wasn't real. Hey, I got to catch up, man. Thanks a lot for the phone call. Thank you.
This is a first that everybody's agreeing. I mean, you and Mac, usually everybody disagrees with me.
Well, I mean, I know how to bring up stuff that I know people are going to disagree with. You know what I mean? Like, what could we do? We could talk about Epstein.
I'm ready.
No, we'll do that after we got John.
That precipitated me coming in this morning was the Epstein files. I sent you an article.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't read the article I sent you? He was involved in a big ticket scalping scam with the Dead and Company, first two Dead and Company tours and the Fairly Wealthy. He made like $10 million scalping tickets on it.
Who did?
Epstein. It's in the emails. He funded a ticket scalping.
Do you know what kind of?
I had to pay out the wazoo to go to those things.
I mean,
that Fairly Well deal. You didn't read the article? I'm just not going to send you anything.
You know, I don't know. You guys are in the same club. You both send me articles regularly that I will never, ever read, just so you know. All right, hey.
How are you, man? Good
short
to see
break.
you. Yeah.
Will you guys be quiet? I'm going to play a couple of spots. Thanks a lot to Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
Before Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, we were being charged various maintenance fees and various check writing fees for all of our accounts. And with Notre Dame, we don't have that. We have that true community partnership. We get interest based on all of our parish and school accounts, and the interest rate is really second to none.
Ogren Insurance, Hammond's oldest family-owned independent insurance agency, now in its third generation providing clients in the Chicago area with products from quality insurance companies to handle your every need. Regardless of driving history, Ogren Insurance can find the right coverage for you at competitive prices. To learn more about the insurance solutions and services we offer throughout Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, call 219-933-0076 or visit our website, ogreninsurance.com. We're located at 6929 Homan Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. Do business locally with someone you know and trust.
IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors bring the highest standard of electrical work to Lake County homes, schools, and businesses. From everyday fixes to once-in-a-lifetime builds, we don't just get the job done, we get it done right and up to the highest safety standards. When you need electrical work, hire the professionals who power Indiana. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community.
AM 1230, WJOB 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the Calumet region. I'm Jim Dedelow, hanging out with you guys on a Thursday morning. And 294 around the city, looks pretty good. 80 going east looks okay. The Bishop Ford into the Dan Ryan is about normal now. It'll start backing up on the backside of the Steel Bridge, and then it'll kind of last till about 76th Street. It'll open up, and then it'll be around 35th Street again. It starts to get bad. Skyway, Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moving along pretty well. And we did that, and we did the weather. Did we do the weather? I don't think I did. A high of 30 degrees right now. It's 18 degrees here at the Strachan Van Til Studios. It's 17 degrees at Plumbers Local 210 in Hobart. And it is 18 degrees at Ironworkers Local 395 in Portage. High of 30 today. Mostly cloudy with occasional snow and flurries. Mainly early and then a stray flurry late in the day. On Friday, a bit of freezing drizzle in the morning, mostly cloudy and breezy with a flurry in the afternoon. Roads could be slippery for the morning commute tomorrow. You're going to want to listen to Starkey and Adriana tomorrow, as they will be able to bring you across the Calumet region. But then it gets cold again. I'll spend most of the day in the teens on Saturday. We do have another guest who's joined us. Now, you guys do realize that I was going to do the show from home today for the very first time, but...
And I'm sure that would have worked out real well.
It's actually simpler in a weird way. How you doing?
Terrific. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What's your name?
John Doherty.
And what do you do for a living?
Depends when you're asking, but I'm the vice president of therapy services for Powers Health. That's my full-time job.
How far away from Docs are you?
Not very.
Yeah, really?
I'm right around the corner.
Do you ever do catering to Powers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's good. But that's another thing. We were talking about the business changing. The pharmaceutical reps don't buy near as much food as they used to.
They used to just come in and just have this massive.
We used to do 2 or 3 a week.
Not anymore, huh?
Nah, I mean we do maybe a couple a month.
I was in. The guy went to Munster, the stomach doctor. What's his office?
Gene Chang?
Gene's. Yeah. So I was sitting in there, and the pharmaceutical rep came in with a bunch of food and from some ham place, really nice stuff.
And you got some, didn't you?
No, Chang wasn't there. So they're like, I go, well, can I eat? And they're like, well, that's for all of us who work here. I go, well, is Gene around? No. I didn't know anybody. They're like, wouldn't let me eat. But they must have spent like $500 on lunch.
That's
really
unbelievable. Back, 25 years ago in the steakhouse we would do in Austin, we'd do one every lunch. Every day there was somebody coming by and pick up steaks for some doctor.
He's Brent Brazier, and he's John Doherty, who wears many hats.
Yeah, the other hat is chairman of the Sportsmanship Committee, and our dinner is coming up.
And we need to sell some tickets.
We do, but the tickets are suddenly hopping.
Yeah, they're
suddenly going by the table.
Oh, I need to.
Where is it this year?
I need to buy a table too, like I always do. So
okay.
I got to.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So what is that? Is that 10 or is that 8?
10.
Ooh, it's a little higher than I thought. But so how much are tickets?
$75.
So how much is a table?
A table is $750.
Oh, I thought it was $1,500.
No, if you want to be a corporate sponsor, it's $2,500, which involves all sorts of other benefits.
You want to go? I just bought 10 tickets.
Okay. What's the date?
Monday, February 23rd.
Here's what happens. First of all, Kuziak always comes, right? And he's a bad influence because he likes to get there early because they open the bar early, right? And then about halfway through the
We're going to the club.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
You can't do that.
I already know what you're going to say.
They won't open the bar until it's over.
We shut down the bar until the dinner's
Yeah,
over.
because
afterwards, we have high school students there.
Well, no. Here's
Makes
how
sense.
it would go before. I would go with Paul Weisnor and John Goss, and I would get there, and we'd have a drink beforehand. They're well-known referees. And then we would walk out about halfway in the sportsmanship, and there would be nobody in the bar. But they know everybody, so they would always open up the bar. And we would be able to sit there and drink while the sportsmanship thing was going on, and we could hear it on the speaker. It was perfect. But now John Doherty closes the bar.
I think that's a good thing, John.
Yeah, we're there for a reason. It's the dinner
Make
for
these
the kids.
degenerates sit through the dinner for the kids.
You can hang in for the dinner and hear the message from our keynote speaker and the IHSAA.
All right, who is
chairman
going to talk this year?
Pat Garrity, the general manager of men's and women's basketball at the University of Notre Dame.
Of course.
He was a basketball. Did he play at Notre Dame?
10 years. Yeah, he was All-American, Big East Player of the Year.
Yeah, I remember that name.
10 years, or was it 9 years with the Orlando Magic? One, I think, with the Milwaukee Bucks.
John
Bucks
did his grad work at Notre Dame.
I did my undergrad work there.
You did them both?
No, I did my grad work at University of Indianapolis.
Okay, I got it backwards. How do you know that someone went to Notre Dame, by the way?
He was a pretty big
How
basketball player.
can you tell if somebody went to Notre Dame? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Anyways.
The better joke, 10 guys in a bar, how do you know which one went to Notre Dame? Don't worry, he'll tell you.
Exactly. All right. It's
Much better delivery, John.
Much better delivery. All right. So, John, give the details about the dinner this year. And it's $75 a ticket. Brent's going to sit at my table. Kuziak will be there. My wife will be there. My dad will come. I don't know. I don't have like 5 more tickets. But somebody wants to buy a table or they want to, some guys got to
go to sportsmanshipdinner.com.
All right, and how do you? And they just buy them right there.
You can
right?
buy them right there on the website, sportsmanshipdinner.com.
How long has this been going on?
This is dinner 72,
and it's every year.
Every year.
And how did it start?
It started as the result of a brawl in the stands at the Hammond Civic Center in 1954.
54.
One.
That was probably a
good one.
Donnybrook.
My grandpa said it was unbelievable. Blood and hair in the aisles and stuff.
It did not involve any players or coaches, but Mike Naw, whose son Pete now runs Hammond Machine Works, and Pete is on our committee. He and some other businessmen in East Chicago and Hammond started this dinner to bring the teams together, specifically the players and coaches, in hopes of preventing something like this from happening again. And the dinner has gone on ever since. And just it started out with a handful of teams. Now we'll have 26 teams there this year. And Paul, like as I said, Paul Neidig, the IHSAA commissioner, either he comes every year or he sends one of his assistants. Paul is coming, and then we bring in a prominent speaker from. Usually an
Notre Dame
athletic program. Oh, exactly.
I think every third year it's Notre Dame.
We haven't had anybody.
Well, I mean,
it's been more than 10 years since we had Mike Bray.
Digger
never spoke.
What's the other one that Mike Bray?
Mike Bray spoke. Gene Corrigan spoke. Moose Krause has spoken.
I don't know who any of those people are. Do you? Moose Krause.
No.
Who the hell is that?
Al, you know.
You know what? He lived down the street from me, and he told me to get off
the lawn. He sounds like a wrestler from the 50s.
Moose Krause.
Yeah, Moose was the athletic director forever at Notre Dame.
Oh, okay. So
I knew who Pat Garrity. I immediately recognized him.
Oh, yeah, Garrity, yeah. He was actually kind of...
Did they make a run in the tournament when he was there?
No.
I feel like
he played pro ball, too, yeah.
He played 10 years in the NBA. No, the run they made in the tournament was with Pat Connaughton.
So what were we so who's emceeing?
You are.
There you go. So I won't be sitting with you, Brent. You'll have to sit by like a bunch of ne'er-do-wells and actually...
Pete Kuziak will hold the table down.
Kuz can't sit still longer than like an hour and 10 minutes. He just gets up and walks out in the lobby, then he comes back, and then the whole time is
he's
like...
itching to talk.
No, he's itching to talk, and he's like, how can they not open the bar during this thing? It's like a wedding. And but I'm so honored to be the MC of this. It's one of the things that I kind of still do it, and I honor the tradition, and Nas got it going, and I honored the tradition also because of my high school football coach and good friend. He died, John Friend, and
you and I are on the committee for one reason, John Friend.
Well, there wasn't. Literally, he came in and he's like, "Hey, you need to be at a meeting on Thursday night for the sportsmanship committee," and I'm like, Coach, but he said, that's it. You can, that's it. You're in. It's an honor to be on it. I mean, you haven't been asked because you're not.
My board service days are over.
That's a good one. Even he got it.
Yeah.
And Doherty knows. Were you guys going to tell me that my fly was down?
I'm not looking at your fly, Jim.
Neither am I.
I'm trying to make eye contact here, buddy.
I wear long johns. I wore long johns today.
We're glad you got
it. Do we need all this information? Just zip your fly up and move on, pal.
TMI.
So when you wear long johns, you're like, it doesn't matter if your fly's open, so you just tend to get kind of lazy. Man. So, and we're giving out some awards too, right?
Yeah, we give out a leadership and scholarship award to one basketball player nominated by his coach, a senior basketball player. We give that every year. And then the schools at each of the one school at each of the 5 sectionals will win the sportsmanship award. We send out committee members after the dinner to attend the sectional games, and one school from each sectional wins, and they end up with roughly $3,000 to distribute as they see fit for scholarship money for their students.
So all the kids see the other kids from all the teams. All the coaches see the other coaches.
Right.
Describe those interactions.
It's fun to watch from up on the head table to see kids. They recognize each other from games they've played against each other, and you do see the interaction prior to sitting down for the meal, and you see old friends, coaches that maybe haven't seen each other because they didn't play during the season, and
or dislike each other.
But that's not what the sportsmanship banquet is about, Jim.
It's funny though, because every once in a while I know that 2 coaches don't like each other, and then like one will go to the bathroom and the other one will take a phone call and they'll meet out in the lobby. And I saw this, and I'm like, oh, I know who that is. Oh, I know who that is. And they didn't say a word to each other, man. Just walked right by each other.
They're missing the point behind the sportsmanship.
Yeah, they're missing
banquet.
the point of the dinner.
Not really.
I think so.
Does sportsmanship mean you got to talk?
Means you need to be civil and polite.
On the court or all the time?
All the time. All the time.
You know how ironic this is, Doherty, right?
Enlighten me.
Well, when I was in high school and played football for John Friend, he was the
you always have a
director.
problem with Highland, I know.
No, I do. Yeah, but
yeah,
I was known as a dirty player, and even
why does that not surprise me? Why does it not surprise me at all?
Used to say that. He goes, "Man, you're the dirtiest player we ever had here." Well, I grew up playing in Frogsville and Roxana and Griffith Courts, and I had uncles beating me up, so I knew how to do that. And now I'm on the sportsmanship committee.
We've turned you from the dark side. I hope.
Still kind of.
Maybe not.
So we give the awards out. We hand out money for scholarships.
And we honor some deserving people. Dave Knish is getting our Lifetime Achievement Award. Dave from Whiting played at Bishop Knoll, coached at Munster. Jim Dye is getting our Humanitarian Award from the Jim and Betty Dye Foundation. We'll be honoring a referee with it's generally, but not always, an annual award. So it's always a nice.
Who's
evening.
the referee? Are we allowed to say or no?
Let's reveal that at the dinner.
Am I supposed to have? No, I mean, I'll announce them, right? But I won't.
Yeah,
you'll tell me then, right?
They're gonna hand you the envelope.
I will.
They don't tell me ahead of time some of the stuff because they're afraid I'm going to say it on the radio.
I'd say that's a legit fear.
So who can go to this and buy a ticket? And say some dude's listening. He likes baseball or he likes basketball, and he's like, me and my buddy, we like basketball. Maybe we'll just buy a couple tickets and come.
Anybody.
Will they be accepted, or where will they sit, or
course.
whatever? And if you want to just go buy a couple tickets and you don't know where you're going to sit, just call me, and I'll make sure you get seated somewhere nice, probably next to Brent. Brent will have to entertain, like.
So you're going to sit somebody nice next to me in Kuziak?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to sell tickets.
I can honor the spirit of the sportsmanship.
As a matter of fact,
awards.
if enough people buy it, you would have to sit at one table and Kuziak at the other table just to kind of tell stories and get people going. You see, all your stories are about Notre Dame, and how do you tell that people went to Notre Dame, that blah, blah, blah.
Look what I got on today.
He hasn't waited. In the first 3 minutes, he mentioned he went to Auburn. The first 3 minutes, I was wondering how long it was going to take before he said, well, I went to Auburn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your old quarterback slamming Notre Dame. But
Yes. Hey, so if you want to go to the sportsmanship dinner, it is sportsmanshipdinner.com.
Just go to the website, click on order tickets, and Eventbrite will take care of you.
Do you want to talk any sports medicine?
We can talk sports medicine if you want. Yeah.
What was this week's column about?
This week's column was about the NFL's release of their injury data and them trying to spin the fact that there were more concussions this year. Then they came out and said, well, the concussion rate's gone down. Well, how can you say that? The concussion rate went way up.
Do you know who he is? Mm-hmm. He's the guy that left what I thought was a good job and went over and worked for Fesco at community, and I'm like, why are you doing this? You got a great practice here. And he left to become one of the most.
Yeah. No, I've listened to. We've talked about on this station about CTE and the concussions a lot.
He's the concussion guy. Before it was cool to talk about it, and now they got the big concussion clinic.
I got a question on this because and it comes from my son was asking me about this. So the Packers have a receiver, Romeo Dobbs. And he wears the bigger hat. Is that and
oh my God, is it huge?
But you see more and more people wearing it.
About 24 guys wear it in the NFL this year.
It is
the NFL makes them wear them in practice. Everybody has to wear them unless they have one of like 7 helmets that are blessed that don't need the quote unquote don't need the Guardian cap.
Let
me cut to the chase. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to tell everybody, please listening, they do not work.
Okay, that was my question.
And the flip side of it is Ball State published a study just a month ago. I think it might have been Auburn was the other school that was that they did.
Where'd you go to school?
Auburn.
Okay,
War Eagle.
Yeah, but Ball State was the primary location of the study. Not only did they show they don't work, wearing them makes the game more dangerous.
It looks funny though. Well, the guy comes on my website.
I guess that was my. I wasn't sure about it,
don't
and I'm like,
spend the money on
if it works, why aren't they all wearing it?
Because it doesn't work,
right? But so this to me, as the Olympics are coming up. Do you remember the Summer Olympics a few years ago, and all of the swimmers were doing this cup massage thing, and they all had these circles where they had these, but. You see it for a brief thing, and everybody's doing it, and then it's like a fad thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like the guys in the NBA now that wear one sleeve over their entire leg.
Right. It looks good.
Right, but it has no real medical value.
So
that's my thing. It's one of those. Remember when everybody was wearing copper? Wear this copper wristband.
How about that thing you put on your wrist when you don't want to be seasick? That works too, right? But anyways. So the NFL, and we've talked about this many times, I mean, someone gets hit, and then they're like kind of woozy on the sidelines. 4 years ago, they'd pull him out, you're done. Now it's like, oh, he's doing better now. I think he's okay. He knows his name. Run him back out there. We talked about this, that the awareness of concussions is probably still high, but the way people are dealing with it is
there's concussion fatigue.
Yeah.
No question about it.
So what do you think? What is your conspiracy? I don't, as long as I've known you, which is a long time, I don't know if you've ever given me one conspiracy theory, and it sounds like you're giving one about the NFL's data.
The NFL wants to look like they're doing something. That's what they're doing. And unfortunately, you've got high school and college coaches feeling pressure from parents. So the NFL's doing it, so it must work. We're going to do it. The NFL came out, has been saying for the last 3 or 4 years, wearing Guardian caps reduces concussions by 50%. Then they did a study. They did a scientific study. They published it in July, and it showed that Guardian caps do nothing. And the NFL didn't publicize the results of the study at all. They just let it run in this
because it looks good that we're saying
obscure,
this, right?
obscure medical journal. Then they got called out on it by me, and then finally other writers around the country picked up on it. But they're still holding to the line that these Guardian caps work when they don't.
Yeah, but John, there's so much money involved.
Yeah, there's money involved for high schools that are paying
if every kid in America has to have one of these.
You know what?
Things,
I hate
right?
to say this, but
$75 per kid for one of those Guardian caps for something that doesn't work. Invest in a better helmet. Invest in teaching your kids how not to hit with their head.
Can we take some phone calls?
Sure.
Can you guys quit being so angry about things and let's just take some phone calls? You know, I'm sorry that the NFL. I'm sorry that the NFL is hoodwinking all of us. Yeah. But are you surprised?
Surprise.
Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Hey, I hear that Kuziak is buying a table for the Andrean High School, and he's sitting with them.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that true?
Why would you do that?
That's why you need that's why you need YouTube, Jimmy. It's on the chat. It's on the chat board.
All right. Hey, it's good. Hey, it's good talking to you. I will say. Hey, you're on the air.
Yeah, that last caller needs one of those protectors backwards.
That's the other issue with them. They don't have any padding in the back. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. He's fallen on his head too many times, I think. John, do you think that the concussion rate is higher in the NFL now because they're looking at the guy in the sky, the doctor in the sky? And how many times does the doctor on the sideline release him, but you have to have a concussion on Monday?
That happens all the time.
Is there any studies on that?
All the time. Yeah. I don't think anybody has done a specific study on that. Certainly the NFL doesn't want to do a study on that.
Well, why is that?
Why is what?
I noticed what you're saying, that you could tell somebody took a smack and then they go out and they're out
staggered or they're briefly knocked out. You can see when they're briefly knocked
or
out.
they go to the sideline and then you see them in the, like two or 4 downs later.
Yeah.
And then you wake up Monday morning and they're out with a concussion. They're not going to play.
And they have a protocol to follow. They're not following their own protocol. They're supposed to be if a guy's suspected of having a concussion, they're supposed to have this sideline exam that takes a minimum of 12 minutes. And they're back.
So no way you can do it in a timeout.
Yeah, and you see guys back out there within 2 or 3 plays. That's not 12 minutes. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, but something is going on, and is it with I would say some teams handle concussion better than others, just like anything else.
What do you think, caller?
Well, I think John's right on that 100%. It's all about money, and
quarterback. I'll tell you who doesn't get concussions. Generally, unless they say I have a concussion, quarterbacks don't get concussions.
Well, they're not getting hit?
Well, they get hit, and they get put right back in the game because you don't want the quarterback coming out.
Yeah.
You know, if you look around the league, the drop from the first to the second quarterback is so much greater than it used to be. It used to be like, all right, well, that guy's out the backup. Earl Morrall's not so bad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Earl Morrall's pretty good.
Yeah, and now the quarterbacks are so expensive to get good ones that everybody has a really high-paid one, and then they got some journeyman guy making 10% of that.
The exception of the rule this year was Mac Jones with San Francisco.
Yeah.
He played well. Generally, the second-string quarterbacks aren't nearly as good as the starter.
So if that's the case, caller, are you surprised that they do whatever they can to put that quarterback back in?
Oh yeah, like you said, it's all about the money difference.
The thing that troubles me is
play on the field.
Is that physicians have cleared guys in games And then the coach is taking the player out because the coach can tell the guy is so bad he can't keep playing. He doesn't care
he doesn't know what's going on.
He doesn't care what the medical. He doesn't care what the medical.
He ran the wrong play again.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for your phone call.
Isn't the doctor though? Isn't the doctor an NFL doctor, not the team doctor?
The final decision on letting a guy back into a game is made by the team doctor, with input from the independent neuro consultant. The final call is made by a team doctor, not the NFL doctor.
Wow, you won't be the
I do have a comment about Auburn.
Go ahead.
I got a comment about Auburn. I got to get in.
Oh, great.
How many Auburn freshmen does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
It's not a freshman class; it's a sophomore class.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Man. Let's take one more phone call. Then you got to go because we have a show to do. All right. You already did your promo, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Hey, you're whatever you want.
Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Boss, it's my first time calling in.
Oh, have you ever had a concussion?
Multiple. Honestly, way more than I should be allowed to play with. But you guys were talking about the helmets, and I just thought it was cool because when the Axiom helmets, one of the newer helmets from Rydell that just dropped maybe like a year or two ago, they actually brought prototypes to Andrean during the year of COVID, and I was one of the 4 people that got to wear it. And honestly, it just didn't feel different at all. It's honestly more uncomfortable.
What kind of helmet is it?
The Axiom. It's the top of the line Rydell.
What's different about it?
It's custom fitted.
What difference does that make?
Most of them are custom fitted. They're supposed to be more like airflow.
Well, with the Axiom, there's no air. They don't. That was a previous generation. There's no air. The padding is custom made for your head. In the NFL guys, not only is the padding custom made, the shell is custom made, but for high school kids, for the $650 model, the padding is made to fit exactly to your head, and the pads are 3D printed, so they have all. It's just one cell after another of crumple zones that are in these individual pads. It's fascinating. I was at the Rydell Research and Development Lab a week and a half ago, and that'll be my next column.
Wow.
But
So
having
kid,
said that, the concussion rate with the new helmets is no different than the concussion rate with the old helmets. What I will say is there's some preliminary research done independently, not by Rydell, that shows wearing a helmet like the Axiom protects you against long-term damage. It doesn't protect you against an individual concussion.
That's funny because when I was
I see that.
when I was Joe's.
Hold on, let's let the caller talk, and then we'll get rid of him.
Hey, sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
No, I just never found it to be like, I don't know, almost an issue when it comes to concussions. I mean, concussions happen, I want to say, so rarely, and most people don't like it, but I think the best thing to combat that is all of these new, rules against tackling and head-to-head that, most people don't like because it, quote-unquote, takes away from the game of football, or it's not the game of football that we remember. But honestly, like, the long-term health of, like, a head injury outweighs, getting to see a super hard hit to somebody's head, right? So I think that those kind of rules, honestly, are the things that are going to keep players from getting concussions and not, fancy new helmets until, they actually figure something out. Because the last 4 helmets really haven't done anything.
Well, if you really think about it.
I would say that in terms of preventing concussion, the new helmets aren't making any difference. In terms of long-term damage to the brain causing CTE, it seems like, it's too soon to say, but it seems like these newer helmets may be making a difference. And the thing that makes the biggest difference is they don't hit in practice like they used to, which is the best thing. So you don't see as many subconcussive hits in practice. In games, the concussion rate hasn't changed a lick. It goes up a little bit. It goes down a little bit. The number of in-game concussions this year in the NFL went up 30% from a year ago. NFL ain't digging that news.
This is Joe Cimino. Joe, you've been putting the games on the radio lately. How's that going?
It's good. That's actually why I called in this morning, because you didn't answer my text last night about it.
Go ahead, Joe. We would love to hear why Jim didn't respond to your text message. Because guess what? You're not the only one, my friend.
Go ahead. Say why.
Usually by like 9 o'clock, he's off the phone. But it's just I'm going on vacation, and I need you to take over the day today because there's a lot of games going on.
Oh, say, all right, hold on a second. All right, so I got to put these games on the air tonight, so remind me, okay? Text me like 6:30, and I do it from home. So let's go through them. It's Griffith at Munster in boys basketball, and that one will be announced and will be live, and it will be from Porter County. We will have Morgan Township at South Central. Now, can I go back and forth between two games?
No.
No, not
just
easily.
Be a lot of dead air if you did that.
All right. So
yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go like one to another and then not switch back, that will work.
Okay, so this is.
Back and forth.
Let me go through the whole schedule of just tonight, and then it's Ileana Christian at Calumet, and it's Highland at. These are all boys because it's girls sectional week, and then it's Highland at Hanover Central. It's Hebron at Washington Township. Boone Grove at Wheeler, Hobart at KV, Lake Station at Couts, and Lowell at Andrain in boys basketball. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games tonight. And you want me to go back, or at least I could either do the Griffith at Munster game or Morgan Township at South Central game, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking you're doing the Munster game. That's probably the one I'm going to have you do.
All right. That'll be on the radio. We hadn't really been putting them on the radio. We'd just been doing them on TV. But now that Semino's doing it, except for today, I've got to do it. You think that'll work out, guys? Thanks a lot, Joe. I appreciate it. Enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good weekend.
So let's take a short break. Oh, wait. Do you have anything else? Let's. Some people may not have listened before. Sportsmanship Dinner is on
Monday, February 23rd.
Monday, February 23rd.
Halls of St. George. $75 a ticket. Go to sportsmanshipdinner.com.
If you go buy a ticket, you can sit right next to Brent Brazier or Dave Kuziak.
Are you trying to sell tickets or keep people from buying them?
Maybe. Well, you can't really sit next to Bill Baker because of other things. Who else could? Maybe the cow guy would come up, and then I could really sell tickets. You know what I mean? But hey, could we have the cow guy as a speaker one year? He played football for Colorado.
Yeah,
and he's nationally known now.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
We'll
talk about it.
Cool?
You have a game tonight. Now you're not going to be at our committee meeting.
What time's the meeting at?
It's at 5. So.
And so can I leave the meeting at 6:20 and
absolutely
drive home to my computer?
Yes.
Do you think that – where's it at? Where's the meeting?
It's at Innsbruck.
Oh, all right. I was going to say if it was at Town Club, I could use their Wi-Fi, but I don't know. All right. So I will be there at 4:30 because I'm going to have to leave early.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you then.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot to John Doherty for coming in and actually making us laugh. We'll be right back on the voice and face of the Calumet region.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
For over 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com. When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til to go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
AM 1230 WJOB 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the Calumet region. Let's take a look at traffic. 294 around the city. Looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good to Bishop Ford. Dan Ryan, a little bit of a backup all the way up to Dan Ryan, but the Bishop Ford actually looks pretty good. So you'll be doo-dee-doo-dee-doo, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, whoop. So it's kind of a long way for it to be slow. Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moving along pretty well. In terms of the weather, it's a high of 30 today. Right now it's hanging out at basically 18 degrees and 19 degrees just about everywhere. Laborers Local 41, of which I am a proud alum of that fine union, is right now 19 degrees. And at the Central Midwest Carpenters, it's local 2950. All of the locals are now that. So 599, 1005, and 1485. They've kind of been put out to pasture, and everything is now one big Carpenters local right there along I-65 in Maryville. It's 19 degrees. Go a little bit further south to Roofers, local 26 in Maryville. It is 20 degrees. And out in Porter County at the Ironworkers, it is 17 degrees. So high of 30 today, little flurries here and there. And then tomorrow it actually gets up to 37, and then we enter a very cold weekend again where we'll spend most of the time in the teens and be kind of cloudy. Brent Brazier is here. The phones are open if you got something on your mind. 219-845-1100. Now, Brent, you asked me if we have somebody coming in, and no, I just have I have podcasts. I do podcasts after night, so we can go to maybe 8:30 or whatever, whenever you want to play some music or whatever. But we do have a few things that we should talk about. First of all, on the national front, Epstein survivors say the file redactions release appear to shield enablers. Also on the national, the Justice Department, failed to black out identifying information about many of Jeffrey Epstein's victims and redacted the details of individuals who may have aided the convicted sex offender, prompting an outcry from survivors who accuse the DOJ of botching the release of more than 3 million documents. So now, you sent me something. What was it?
So there was a on one of the music pages that I follow, there was an article. Jeffrey Epstein was involved in a ticket scalping scam. Let's see if I can pull it up. Specifically on the Grateful Dead 50th anniversary shows in Chicago, and also the first Dead and Company tour. And it was emails going back and forth from him and these guys. And they're like, I think it was like, we bought for the Dead and Company tour, we bought 25,000 tickets at an average price of $110, and we sold them for an average of $250. And the 50th anniversary Dead show was something like they bought 7,500 tickets, but they quintupled their money on them. And he was putting up the money so these guys could flip the tickets, is basically the way I read it. And I'm like, wow, the Epstein files have touched me because I bought tickets to both of those things and probably paid extra money.
Is that good, sound capitalism, or is that ripping people off?
Oh, I think with the secondary ticket market, it's definitely ripping people off. I mean, there's an antitrust suit right now against Ticketmaster, which was filed under the Biden DOJ. I don't think the current one is pursuing it, but the way that the internet has changed ticket sales. I mean, let me date myself again. I remember we went to the mall, to the Parisian's department store, on Saturday morning and stood in line to get tickets.
In Auburn?
No, this is when I was in high school. Like, to go see Eric Clapton, right? You had to stand in line. There was no internet, right? You bought the tickets. And you don't even – tickets, real paper tickets don't even exist anymore. Everything – I know all of the pro sporting events that the Bucks and the Packers and stuff, there's no ticket. It's just your phone. And – which is very handy, but at the same time, all the ticket sales are online, and people write code and create bots, and all of a sudden you go to buy tickets to a big show like the Dead and Company at the Sphere, and it pops up, your number 72,000 in line. Well, the place only holds 8,000 people or whatever, right? So how are there 72,000? It's not real. There's people putting fake things in to buy the tickets for the sole purpose of buying all the tickets and then reselling them at a higher price. And I think that I don't think that is really good capitalism.
So the cheapest ticket you ever bought to a Grateful Dead show, by the way,
we used to decorate the envelopes and mail for them, right? I mean, they were like $35, and that was a lot back then. But your money order, you did that, right?
I went to Alpine Valley, I want to say 80 or 81 for $7. I bought a yard seat. I didn't buy underneath. $7. Yeah. God, I wish I would have kept that. Lane Paradis has them for like $3.50 in the early 70s.
That's crazy.
Isn't that
You can't
crazy?
go see anything for $100. It's $100 to see any big show.
$100, and that really doesn't cover. I mean, then you're probably going to hit parking, you know. Yeah, you're just getting crazed out.
$24 tall boy. I mean, you know.
So to get back to Epstein, you know, it's kind of hard to follow the nuances of this, but here's what
I don't. So,
what?
So I don't think there is nuance, and this is my problem. And I haven't dug in deep, but I've seen a lot of these emails and stuff posted, right? Why, if somebody sends an email to Jeffrey Epstein that says, the girls were wild last night, especially that youngest one, why is that guy's name blocked out? He's not a victim. Like they release the victim stuff, but why is anybody, and this is where I don't understand, it's turned into some sort of political thing. Who cares? Release it, like unredact all of it except for a victim. Who was emailing him? If you were, did you see the guy that was his banker at J.P. Morgan, and Jamie Dimon's like, I never knew him. Oh, you emailed him, right? You need to be exposed for that. And you could say, hey, look, the guy was a big client. He was a billionaire. Here, you see in my emails, I wasn't talking about, hey, can I get a trip to the island? When's the wild party coming? If you wrote that, we as an American public deserve to know. The other thing that I don't understand is the Deputy Attorney General said he had a quote that was terrible. He's like, it's not a crime to party with Epstein.
Oh, no.
I think it actually was a crime to party with Epstein. And why? There's no more prosecutions coming out of this. And it reminds me of my favorite senator, Senator Foghorn Leghorn from Louisiana, John Kennedy. You know what I'm talking about? Who went to Oxford. But he, all of a sudden, if you see the videos from early in his career, he was like the Secretary of State in Louisiana. He sounds just like you and I. And now that he's in the Senate, he's like, well, back in my day, Foghorn Leghorn. So he says to Kash Patel, he goes, I've seen this clip a million times. He goes, who, if anybody, did Ghislaine Maxwell traffic kids to? And Patel goes, we don't have any information that she trafficked kids to anyone other than Jeffrey Epstein. Otherwise, we would bring charges. It's just not true. It's just, Senator Leghorn goes, so you're telling me she's in prison for trafficking women and children, but only to Jeffrey Epstein. No one else was involved. And he goes, that's the information we have. And now we know that's a lie. So why is it still being covered up? I am the furthest thing from a conspiracy theorist, but it took them an extra month of all these. They got lawyers from all over the country, all over the government, redacting stuff 24 hours a day. Why? If you were in them, you deserve to be outed. If you've got a legitimate thing, he emailed me about a company that we're building and he wanted to buy. Okay, cool. I don't think that's a stain on you. Especially, most people probably didn't know he was convicted, right? That was a weird thing, too. This Acosta guy, I saw one attorney on Twitter. It's like, I was a former prosecutor, and now they saw the documents in his first case where it was like a slap on the wrist. It was a federal case, and they made it a municipal thing, and he got house arrest or furloughed jail time in Palm Beach. They're like, we would have never, ever done this based on the evidence that was against him. He got a sweetheart deal. Why? Who gave it to him? Was it that Acosta guy that was the federal prosecutor? Was it orders from somebody else? Like, we need to know those things, because this is clearly, all of these people that said, I didn't know Epstein, I've never talked to him, like Jamie Dimon. You'd never met him, you didn't talk to him, but you're in his email? You're sending him emails?
Did you see what Bill Gates' wife came out and said?
No, but that's where this thing, it's like, no one committed any crimes but Epstein and Maxwell. And then why did we move Maxwell to a club fed in Texas from her normal federal prison? I don't get it. And it doesn't have anything to do with your political party. There's something is strange that we spend all this time, and then why are people redacted who aren't victims? We don't want to embarrass them?
Well,
tough. You need to be embarrassed.
You're applying like logic to this. And you got to look at it from...
The American public needs to apply logic to it.
The American public is, for a long time was kind of being sold a bill of goods by the Democratic Party. Oh, we're looking out for you. And then, a lot of the American public kind of realized...
Neither party is.
They're not looking out for you. It's all about the elites and academic institutions and stuff.
And so we don't want to embarrass those people.
We don't want to... So then you go over... And now you have Trump, who comes in and he figured out, he goes, man, people are tired of the elites. Even though I might be one of them, I'm still going to, I'm going to plug into their anger and their distrust. And he did that. And I had an argument with Varley the other day. The guy figured it out.
No doubt.
Now, what it's doing is the Epstein case, and I think Trump knows this, is turning that on its head. Because now it's like, not only are all of these very elite individuals heads of corporations. You see the head of that law firm last night. He for 18 years. What's the name?
Paul Weiss.
Paul Weiss.
Paul Weiss is the name of the law firm.
Yeah, Paul Weiss is the name of the law firm.
The managing partner of the law firm.
That is, I think, like the NFL, and they have some big names.
Big white shoe law firm.
Yeah, Oracle. And this guy ran it for 18 years, and it turns out he was
choppering over to the island, wasn't he?
Choppering over to the island. And so, or whatever.
Good. And you know what? He resigned.
I can't remember what he was actually doing, but it came out and it filtered out. Bill Gates. His wife comes out.
She divorced him.
Yeah, she divorced him, but... she obviously knew some stuff. If you saw her on the podcast, she's like, yeah, this was wrong. And it was bringing up some bad stuff from my memory and from my marriage. And, obviously she had an idea of what was going on. But the one that I didn't get is that, he had asked for some medicine for sexually transmitted disease.
He needed some antibiotics.
And he was going to, give it to his wife surreptitiously, so she didn't know that she needed it too.
But
I'm like, are you?
It's definitely changed my opinion of Bill Gates.
Well, I think
as it should.
As it should. But the thing in America,
there can't be one set of rules for all of us. and then these people do despicable things, and it's like, oh, yeah, they're rich, no big deal. That's like the fall of society, isn't it? Right? I mean, where are we at here? If you're super rich, standards of decency don't apply to you. Whether you broke the law or not, you're a dirtbag. And because you're rich, you shouldn't be able to hide that. And the government shouldn't be hiding that for you.
So I listened to Father Jim Martin last night. Father Jim Martin is a Catholic priest, and he writes a lot of books, and I like reading his stuff. I'm a Catholic, blah, blah, blah. And he says, he goes, it's pretty simple, people. He goes, about, the ICE thing in Minneapolis, he comes out, he goes, Matthew 25:35, I was a stranger and you welcomed me in. That's what Jesus said, right? And then he goes, there's other one, he goes, in the Beatitudes, and blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. He's just like, we've gotten so far from that. I can't even, I write my books and I try to give speeches, but what good is it doing right now? Because he's with you. Like, it's all falling apart. There's a podcast, I forget who did it. He just did it yesterday. Jim Martin wrote a book called... I
beg to differ. I'm going to give you a key difference in the two things, right? Whatever you think that the policy are and how we're dealing with immigration is on a philosophical level doesn't matter. But in the United States, there's some people who legitimately have the opinion that too many people are here illegally, and we shouldn't have as much immigration, legal or non-legal, as we do. Now, that's a debatable policy point.
And most people do feel that way.
Right. So but how they're doing it regardless, right? So we can make arguments over whether they're following the law and we should be doing it in this manner, right? There's no one that's like, you know what? I've really considered both sides of this Epstein thing, and I'm coming down on the Epstein side of it.
Yes, there you go.
That's the difference in those two things. But they're being treated the same way. Do you see the difference that I just made there?
So you're right. They're two different things.
You and I can debate immigration policy and the method in which it's being enforced. And we each have a valid point, and we may agree or disagree, but we can make an argument for either side, right? Whatever you feel personally is not. No one is making the argument that the head of J.P. Morgan or the head of Paul Weiss that was sending Epstein emails going, or Elon Musk, hey, when is the wildest party? What day is that going to be? I want to chop her over from St. Bart's. No one is on that side. No one. So why are we accepting that it's okay?
Well, that comes to two things. That's why I brought up Father Jim Martin, and that his thing is that we have lost the ability to understand that, being meek and being humble, there's still some worthiness to that, and that respecting respecting people and respecting the laws of society, it has been lost. And the reason that those things are kind of similar, and that with the Epstein thing, you can have people that voted for Trump, and then he's cutting all their benefits, and
they still love him,
and they still love him, right?
But you
get to the Epstein thing, then that's too far for people. Trump's got the worst numbers that like any president in the last 100 years right now, and
not according to him.
No, not according to him, but the many polls, right. Because now you're just down to just the core of people that doesn't really matter what he does or says.
Why?
A lot of people have fallen off of that because they're like, this Epstein thing has been the catalyst for that.
At some point, Ukrainian policy, tariffs don't matter.
Greenland.
Until we get to why is this Epstein thing going on, and why did it happen the way it did?
And why is it being covered up?
And they said, okay, this is it. There's everything. There's still like millions of pages, and they're like, we just can't release that.
And there's a whole bunch of names.
So now we're going to go back to Congress, who passed a law, and then they ignored it for over a month because they were having to do all these redactions. But all they were doing was redacting stuff to take care of people, because they sure didn't redact the victims. Their names got published. So what? All these people that the government had working to redact this stuff were either grossly incompetent, or they were working on something different than what we were told. They weren't working to redact to protect the victims. They were working to redact to protect all these rich people. And by rich, you're talking about people of oligarch level. You know, that guy, the Paul Weiss guy, that guy's worth almost $1 billion. He's not a CEO he didn't invent something. He just ran one of the biggest law firms in the country, and he's super rich, and they protected him. Why? Why?
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like we have serious problems in our government.
No, but
and you know what? And here's the thing. Just so people won't say I'm being political, why didn't we do all this under Biden? Why didn't Biden's DOJ release all this crap? They should have.
Are these gluten-free? And why are you here?
He heard me talking. He's like, I got to come carry the show.
Did you have a cigarette on the way in?
No, man, I couldn't smoke.
It's just the residual smoke from my jacket.
That's what it is. You
barbecue smoke.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All you got to do is just walk by him, and it wafts off.
No,
of him.
he walked
I'm like
by
that
it.
kid in Peanuts with the cloud behind him. I always smell like smoke.
So, you see what you're getting all kind of worked up.
I'm not worked up. This is a thing that I have over the last couple of months. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Because I'm not a conspiracy guy, but something is going on.
Well, when I first started seeing this, maybe a couple months ago. By the way, Bob Starkey has walked in uninvited.
I'm telling you, he heard us floundering and he came to dig the show out.
Hey, listen.
No, you're doing great.
Hey, listen.
I came here to work.
He's here to. They're building this.
I know, it looks great out there.
Yeah. It's really.
Glad somebody's taking a pride in the building and really making it look nice.
So, what I think is there's a lot of people that just cannot take this part of it, of trafficking young girls, and they can't take that. The worst part, honestly, is that all of these names are going to come out, right? And all of this trying to make it in stages and try to manage it, sometimes you just can't manage your way out of something. You just got to let it go, take the hit, and then rebuild.
Is the hit so big that the government doesn't recover from it?
I think that's the issue.
They're scared that this will be the end.
To your point about 5-10 minutes ago when you said, how is it that we're seeing these emails? You could go to the website and just type in names. You see all these emails. The victims' names are out there half the time, yet, John Doe, who's like, hey, when's this hoppin' party? His name's redacted.
Right.
It's like, I want to know who that is.
Yeah, everybody does. I didn't want to know the victims.
So where does this go? I mean, I turned to you guys. You guys both got kind of excited.
I don't think that it's over by any means. I mean, there's people. I mean, it was. What's crazy is probably the most bipartisan thing that's happened in our government in the last 2 or 3 administrations was that the entire Congress voted. I think there was some wacko from Texas that voted against it. Everybody in Congress voted to release these things on both sides. Now, other than naming a mailbox, when is a post office after somebody? When was the last 434-1 vote in our Congress on a consequential piece of legislation? When? Because everybody, it goes back to I think no one is on the side of Epstein. It's not immigration. It's not foreign policy. It's not tariffs. It's a sickening crime that it's still being covered up.
Well, it's covered up to the point where, I say impeach Patel, impeach Bondi. I mean, they both said
they're inept,
completely. I mean, aloof at their job, borderline criminal. Because first it was, we've got these documents, and then remember that 6-month tour of there are no documents. We don't know what you're talking about. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, there's a midnight dump of 30 8 million emails.
Well, I mean,
it's all a scam.
There's the reason I brought up, I don't know if you heard earlier when I was talking about John Kennedy questioning Patel in the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Patel's like, no evidence of anything. We don't have any evidence of anything. There's no crimes. If there was a crime, I would have charged it yesterday. That's arguably lying in front of the Senate. I mean, or he is absolutely the worst lawyer ever to head the FBI.
And
you're talking about a guy going,
could
there's no crimes here. I'm not a lawyer. I can scroll through those emails and find some crimes, or I at least do a hell of a lot more digging.
He's Bob Starkey. He's Brent Brazier. Just stay where you're at. I know you guys are calling in. I got 1 minute of commercials, and then I'll be right back on the voice and face of the Calumet region.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
Hey, everybody. AM 1230, WJOB. 1047. I'm Jim Dedelow. Trying to play a little shorter breaks to keep people going. Let's see. Hold on a second. Just started with you. Please read that I just shared with you. I've been. I think this is a great deal for us. Sorry, it's a business deal. My fault. I thought it was something I needed to give out. Let's take a look at traffic. 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. The Bishop Ford up the gut of the Southland was kind of bad for a long time at the end, and it's gotten a little bit better. But the Dan Ryan is still pretty heavy at these late hours in the rush hour. Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65, they're all moving along pretty well. In terms of the weather, right now it's 19 degrees at Riffers, local 26 in Maryville, and it is 19 degrees at Labor's Local 41 in Munster, and it is also 19 degrees at Ironworkers Local 395. High of 30 just about everywhere today. Maybe a little bit of a flurry here and there. Tomorrow, high of 37, a bit of freezing drizzle, and then by Saturday, high of only 23. Partly sunny and very cold. We have a ton of games tonight, and as you heard Joe Cimino call in, the former Andrean guy, and he's going to be on a plane to go see his parents tomorrow. So I will be hosting this from either from Innsbruck Country Club or from my home, and you'll be able to listen on the radio to one of these many games. It'll either be Griffith at Munster in boys basketball, and then on the call for that game are Petoskey. And the other game that you would have to choose for with announcers would be Morgan Township at South Central, and Lipowski are on that. So it's Petoskey and Lipowski. They are...
Welcome to the region.
Petowski's on one game and Lipowski's on the other. All right. Then there's other games. Here they are. All right, so Ileana Christian is at Calumet. These are all boys basketball because we are in the middle of girls sectionals. All right, so you got Ileana Christian at Calumet, Highland at Hanover, Hebron at Washington Township, Boone Grove at Wheeler, Hobart at KV, Lake Station at Couts, and Lowell at Andrean boys basketball. So what'll happen is I can go between any one of those 9 games, and we have announcers on some of them, and then I'll go to the announcer for the radio. But every once in a while, if it's a game where it's done by the focus cam, then I can actually announce it and say, hey, here's what's – not announce it, but at least go along with it like Peyton Manning does. And I can do that. But tomorrow we are going to be out at a bunch of girls' sectional sites. And here we go. We will be Lowell versus KV at KV at 7:30, and then we'll be Marquette Catholic versus Westville at Morgan Township. That'll be at 6, and then it'll be Tri-Township at Washington Township, and that, of course, is versus Washington Township. That's at Morgan Township. So we'll be KV in Morgan Township tomorrow in the evening if you want to watch some games. And then on Saturday, we've got games all day long. So just go to the heartlandsportsnet.com, or you can go to Apple, Spotify, and whatever else you can get on your phone. The problem is it's a long trek to change the name of the app. So if you want to download the app on your phone or on your TV in your living room, you might just have to download the Jed TV app. Some of them have changed, some have not. All right. Hey, are you guys ready?
We've been ready.
Yeah.
Do you know how to do where I'm sitting?
Well, I mean, he knew how to turn on the lights, so it's an improvement. I'm not sitting in a shadow anymore.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I just saw that. Yeah. Good job.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah,
Bob's running the place now.
I don't know what got into you, but you see, Bob's like you are. You did radio in college, and you're all into it. Bob's been doing this for a long time. He's got his own studio. You just get into it. It's like pulling. He can't call me enough times in a day. Hey, what about this, Jed? What about that? You've gotten it.
Oh, he's already been texting me. He said, since you've been down, you're chewing gum. What are you doing? So I'm
you never chew gum on radio. It's like wine tasting.
Danny Mac says you never eat. Guy with a kitchen spread over here on the desk, right?
It's like hillbilly charcuterie in here.
He's peeling an orange, having a bagel.
Hey, the reason I ask is that I personally have to go to the bathroom. You should know how to operate all this if you're really going to integrate here. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you can run. We're good. We're good to yak.
Yeah, but I have people I want to bring the phones in. All right, so I'm going to show both of you guys. You see this? This is so you could do it from home. I'm going to have the whole old system where I don't need the computer because I don't want another internet-based thing. But all you do here, if you're doing it at home, you just bring in a phone line into your computer, right? And you hit talk, and then you wait. And then it comes up here. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
Are you talking to me?
Yes. Good morning.
Nobody cares about Epstein files. The average person is worried about paying his NIPSCO bill, worried about if his job is secure, worried about the cost of food. Yeah, they're all creeps. Democrats and Republicans. What else is new?
Right. So
but that's not the reason I called. That's not the reason I called. Let me just get this out there. Chet, is it true that you built a new station using the last Heath kit from Radio Shack? You know, the one you wrap the copper wire around the bathroom tissue tube, and you put the crystals in there with the headphones.
It was their last mail order kit.
Yeah, Bob and I remember that. We're all getting dated here. There's not even a thing as Radio Shack anymore, is there? But yes, you're right. I think he did do that. He had it in a box.
It was on sale at the end, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to need this someday. So I bought the last one, and we're using it.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You concentrate on the 6 to 9 drive time in the morning and the 3 to 6 at night, and then run repeats or your podcast in the daytime. But it's like a rudderless ship over there, man. We got 219 News, and then we got the TV. The TV's not working, and TuneIn's not working, and we're going to do that. Come on, man. Focus. No more gummies. No more gummies on the weekend. Focus.
I'm listening.
This guy gets it.
He gets it.
Yeah.
You know, I know that you're not going to like this part of it, but my theory is that we are adapting to the modern media landscape, and it's kind of run by AI, and we're bringing that into this system to continue what we're doing and do it at the lowest cost possible. But I'm never in a hurry, if that makes any sense. We have the highest level streaming sports. Never in a hurry. We have the highest level streaming sports thing of any local media in America. You would not believe what Sam Michael and these guys put together. But I let them do it and take their time. And the same thing is happening right now. I got 4 young people that are remaking this station. I'm having a meeting with them today. And I'm like, what do you guys want to do? And I'm like, just take your time. Don't worry about it. We're 102 years old. We're going to be 110. We're going to be 150. So if things don't move as fast as you want, I understand that, but it's kind of by design.
I'm not asking to move fast. I'm asking to go back to the traditional format. AM radio's not going anywhere. I got news for people. And the drive time is the most important part of the day. You know that. You've been doing that long enough. And in fact, I think you're getting tired of doing it. You're looking for another challenge. I really do.
Well, there's probably a little bit of truth to that. That's why I asked Starkey to do Fridays. I'm like, hey, man, I've been doing this a long time. It's a lot of heavy lifting to get up and be ready to do it in the morning. But, you see, you come down to something of the traditional nature, okay? And you email me at jed@wjob1230.com. Tell me your phone number, and I would love to talk to you about it. But the one thing that Colby taught me about programming is something that John Mayer is using in the Tom Petty radio channels. They say that you have to have a rhythm to your day, and that a certain kind of music is good at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's not good at 8 at night. And more talk at night, and in the morning, people just want the music to go to work. And I want to match the rhythm of the day in the region to what we're putting on. So for 6 years, we didn't pay any attention to the radio, and you know that because we built that sports network. Now we're back. So if you have suggestions, I want to hear them, okay? I
like his suggestion. I think having drive time and then an afternoon shows.
Well, I think Starkey's talking about taking some of the afternoons.
Yeah.
So you might have just...
The best,
you used to have a good
best show.
The guys
best show, hands down, is the Wednesday show in the morning.
Dabberton and Starkey come in very prepared. They're very prepared. All right, man. Hey, thanks.
Well, anybody's better prepared than you.
I get it. So I guess I would just want to point that out to everybody. I'm having a meeting today. I've got a little committee of people that are going to remake it, and I want suggestions. If you guys want something, now's the time, because once I set it, it's going to kind of run just like the sports network. It's set, man. Now they're just putting more and more games on. I think I got 9 games tonight. I mean, those 9 kids would not be on local TV. Those 9 games. That's hundreds of athletes if we didn't make the investment. Now I need your input. Tell me what I need to do, but do it in an email, all right? Thanks a lot. Talk to you.
Man.
See ya. 219-845-1100. Am I going to be able to go to the bathroom? What are you guys laughing about? Probably
no,
me.
we're doing a show back here.
No, absolutely not.
I got to go
good
pee.
morning. Since it's so...
Good morning.
Since it's so... Good morning. Hey, since it's so close to Valentine's Day, I have to say the best thing for Brad Gimble that's been happening is that with all these distractions, is vindication. I mean, for the last 7 years, I've been calling in, and I've stuck to my story. It's on record. All these elite people, Democrats, Republicans, they're all in on it. Either way, folks, if these Epstein files aren't just one big psychological operation, we are now forced to come together. Kind of convenient, eh? All sides, we have no choice. We can't sidestep conversations when someone walks into the studio with sugary treats to fatten up our lips. There's no arguments here, okay? Brent, you've got the right attitude, my friend. You said you're not a conspiracy theorist, but there's obviously something going wrong. I mean, if Trump and Melania were watching people eat babies, I mean, that's what was mentioned, right? But the big thing here is, was Trump an informant the whole time? And how will this affect the Democrats? I mean, that's the big news. Trump was an informant. Did you guys hear about that one? It's unreal, right? And I'm definitely going to say that there are some questionable things because, in reality, is Epstein really involved with the Securities and Exchange Commission? Is he really Satoshi Nakamoto? He invented Bitcoin? So the 14 years that I've been researching Bitcoin, now when it's convenient, when everything's crashing, to get everybody out of the markets in metals, in crypto, in property, and everything, Satoshi Nakamoto is Epstein? This is unbelievable. And I'm telling you guys, all the big AIs, they're all propagandized too. They're completely skewing your view. And if you're not worshiping your new god, AI, you're being propagandized by it. Run your own AIs. I'm sorry I went off on like that, but you guys got a good show going. We got to kick it up here. I mean, what do you guys think here? Is Trump an informant?
I've heard that.
I haven't heard.
I mean, it's just rumors on the internet.
Well, so if he was, why aren't they releasing
it? It's not rumors. You can go to justice.gov and get it right there. There's no rumors. You can even take the black marks off of all the papers. It's so simple. You just paste it in a Word, or you get a Python script. Go put it in AI, Jed. How do I make a Python script, get rid of all the redacted black marks on a PDF? And that's not racist. It's just getting rid of the black marks, okay? So here's the thing. If you can see all the names, why isn't everybody jumping in on it? How come I'm the one that's ahead of this all the time? And when we bring it on, none of you guys ever hear about it.
You can unredact all of this
no,
stuff?
Okay, I'm just getting excited. Oh, yeah, man, that's easy with a Python
So why
script.
hasn't anybody
There's
done
so
it?
many of them that they didn't do right.
Hey, I appreciate your passion. But please do not Please do not ever criticize anybody for bringing in gluten-free cookies for me. Then this was.
I got you. I got your back.
He's got my back.
And poison.
Hey, listen. Go ahead. You guys talk for a second. I'm going to go pee. All right.
If you can.
Let that
stuff.
man urinate.
I was just showing
just
Bob.
be grateful he doesn't have the wireless mic on, everyone.
I was just so there. I just showed Bob one of these Epstein emails that was from Staley, who was, I think, his banker at J.P. Morgan.
Yeah, one of his bankers.
And the subject line is like, I can't remember what it was, but it's like, hey, here's a picture of when Bibi Netanyahu visited us. And so this guy's sending this email of, hey, here's this picture of us with Netanyahu when he visited. But the picture is blacked out. If it's the picture of those three dudes and Netanyahu, why is it blacked out? What we all know.
I agree. I think
all three of those people are public figures. I know what all three of them look like. Why did we redact the picture? That's what to me makes no sense. And so if somebody's able to unredact all this stuff, I'd love to see it. I mean,
you could go out there and fix. Go ahead. Sorry, Brent.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is there's all these redactions, and I'm all in no way do I want them to out any victims, but it seems to me most of the redactions. I mean, obviously, that's not seems to me it's a fact. They left victims unredacted, but they've redacted all of these people that are sending these emails, and all of the people that Epstein is sending emails to. Now, to go back to what Mad Mac talked about earlier in the downfall of corporate media, we should all be able to take in this information and make a decision for ourselves. Just because someone got an email from Epstein doesn't necessarily make them a bad person. He had legitimate business. He was a big finance guy. But again, if the email is, hey, are you coming to the island on Saturday? It's going to be a wild party. I got a bunch of new girls. Then, yes, I think that's salient to and should be unredacted, right? I'm going to judge that person different than somebody that emails them and says, hey, Mr. Epstein, we've got an idea for a ticket scalping operation. Will you fund it?
I think if all these people –
they're both slimy, but one
I have a delay on the other end.
Sorry, my bad. Both of those things that I just said are slimy, but one of them is unacceptable.
All right, hey man,
Exactly.
hey, I'm back from taking a
Go
pee,
ahead.
so thank you. I appreciate it. Talk to you. All right, you picked up the wrong headset.
I didn't like that one. I don't like the headsets.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, he's going to go Kuziak and bring his own one in.
All right,
I got a whole setup when I do my thing.
You bring your own microphone, right?
Yeah, my own microphone. I do the in-ear monitors. I
You gotta go.
If you get me one that comes from underneath, I'll wear my cowboy hat like Don Imus used to. Did you ever watch the Don when he used to his show? He always wore, he had like
We'll get you one.
219
while you're upgrading the equipment.
Hey, as soon as they're done building this studio, I'm not touching this thing for 20 years, just so you know. And I won't.
Yeah, you hadn't touched it for 20 years.
This hasn't been touched since 1955. where we're sitting right now. It looked exactly like this when I worked here in 1984, and it had looked like that for 30 years before that. 219-845-1100. If you want to see what it looks like, go to YouTube. Other than that, you're on the air. How are you?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
I appreciate you guys bringing up the Father's perspective on the Beatitudes and what's going on in the world. And whatever you believe in, those are good things to think about. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
Are you Catholic or are you of another Christian denomination?
I was born Catholic, but I see the Christian perspective in general.
Cool. So what's on your mind?
Well, I went to the NIPSCO protest yesterday in Maryville.
All right, tell us about it.
And it was kind of an odd experience. I was hoping it was more of a grassroots, just regular folk out there, upset about what's going on with their utility bills, and it seemed like more of an orchestrated circus type thing. I imagine you guys know that guy that was speaking there and what he's all about, but he started spouting off about the police and how they're no good, and then would go back into NIPSCO and then try to get fired up about other things, and why are these people or NIPSCO putting up fences and thinking that we're going to be hostile and we're just here to peacefully protest. It was really kind of a eye-opener to see how some of these other bigger protests could turn into weird, not just protests, and be more of an aggravated situation. So I'm not a regular protester, and there are and were some regular protest people there, and I was hoping it would be more of just regular folks out there, but I could see how some of these things are whipped up into something else. And I was just surprised at that.
So what was your bill before and what is it now?
Oh, I would say this time last year it was about $280, and now it's $420.
So you went to the protest on that one issue, and obviously people that are angry about their NIPSCO bill might be angry about other things, and those kind of filtered into the discussion, and you weren't a big fan of that. You just wanted to let your voice be known about the NIPSCO bill. Am I reading that situation right?
Correct. And they, with the Channel 9 and everyone else there, they really made it look like it was much bigger than it was. There was maybe 30 people there, and the way they panned cameras and had all these news crews like this, and NIPSCO made it look like they were prepared for thousands of people. They had lots of security, and they put up a snow fence around their entire property, and supposedly there were other officers with weapons that were in places where you couldn't see. At least that's what the main speaker guy was trying to convey to the few people that were there in the crowd.
So wait a second. I watched that. I took the granddaughter over here for dance, and then the wife and I took the grandson, and we went to eat somewhere, and I could see it on, they had like 100 TVs there, and one was Channel 7 and one was Channel 5. And they made it look like it was a big deal, and that when the guys were talking, there was big crowds behind them. I mean, that's what the news people have to do. Otherwise, they came out to a big dud of a rally. Gosh.
Well, I got the vibe like they were doing that on purpose just to rile people up. It was like, yeah, we're going to make this thing look big, and like it's such a horrible thing, and even that main speaker guy was trying to get people riled up on other topics that had nothing to do with NIPSCO. So the whole scene was surreal. It wasn't like I was going to a 60s protest just to say, hey, NIPSCO's ripping us off. It was like, we're going to get you fired up about all these other things and start talking about cops and why they're here and why NIPSCO's got to have so much security. And it was just an odd situation, Jed. It wasn't what I expected at all.
So did you listen to the interview I did with Vince Parisi, the president of NIPSCO, 2 days ago?
I didn't get to catch that. No.
All right. It's on YouTube. Go to WJOB 1230, and it's there. And I think that's about the only place we put it. They paid us to tell their story, and so they can dictate where it goes. And I think we just kind of played it, and I don't know where it is now. But it might be there on our YouTube. If not, I'll see if I could play it again. Have it after Starkey's show tomorrow or somewhere before it. But the guy went through it, and here's what I got out of it. There's three things. One, the price is up on gas. Two, it's cold. And three, your delivery charge is more because you're using more gas and you get paid for using the NIPSCO lines per how much gas you use. So it is the triple whammy there. And at the same time, you got a 19% increase in electric. Now, I don't know when that electric increase went into effect or it already did, but that will also be an effect on this. So where were you keeping your house at nighttime? What degree?
Oh, I would usually keep it around 74, and now I'm down to 68.
So you've dropped 6 degrees.
Is, like, people in Chicago or people in Indianapolis aren't complaining like Northwest Indiana residents or South Bend. It seems like we're the ones that are getting slammed with this compared to, I don't hear any other states seem to have this problem, just NIPSCO customers.
Yeah, I don't.
As far as a huge increase.
I mean, part of your increase is
energy customers don't seem to be.
You're right. I haven't seen anything anywhere else. All right. Hey, man, thanks for calling in and telling us about it. We appreciate it.
All right.
What do you read on this? I mean, it's related to the data centers, is my guess.
So I don't know that it is related to the data centers. I really do think this new organization that they have spun off,
Genco,
is going to take the bulk of that weight off of the ratepayers. I'm trying to decide what I want to say here. So
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if this is related to this, but, I was on that CAP panel for 17 years. And when I first started, they were generating a lot of their electricity. And now they're buying it seems to me, on the open market. I think I went through 5 CEOs or presidents, and I just said, I'm not going to meet another one. I'm sorry, I'm out. And they just said, okay, bye. And it was, so I kind of had an understanding, but it seemed like the focus shifted from generation to, good, solid, putting new lines in and data centers and that kind of thing. So
right, and there's a lot of moving pieces with this. Right now, I think the angst that most folks are seeing is from this newly enhanced delivery charge. Okay, so gas prices may be up, and that's a pass-through. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. I do know that NIPSCO does tend to buy in the summer. They have storage. They have LNG plants out in LaPorte. They have what they call the 600-pound loop. And so when NIPSCO's putting in all of these new subdivisions everywhere, they're oversizing the pipe on these. And the point of that is for you get more storage that way. So they're storing more of the cheaper gas when they can. And so that's a pass-through. What I don't understand is all of the calculations that go into the delivery charge and why it doesn't seem to be level for everyone. For example, we have in Dyer, we pay a delivery charge to Highland for our water that we get from Hammond, but it's a flat rate. What I don't understand is how it appears, based on what folks are posting online, they're posting their bills, is that delivery charge is not the same for everyone, and I don't know what that is, and I think folks need to realize that there are two different rate things that are going to be hitting. Right now, we're dealing with this the increase in the bills on the natural gas side. As soon as the weather flips, we're going to see a rate spike on the electric. And it's going to be high there too. One of the issues with that is when I say we, I mean NIPSCO did get away from really generating their own power, and I think if it weren't for the fact that Northwest Indiana is so industry heavy that demanded all of this, they probably would have got rid of more of their generation capability 5-10 years ago. NIPSCO just seems to be getting away, and I don't want to start this callers calling with the Green New Deal stuff, but they are getting away from generating their own electricity. And I think that is a bad policy, because then you're reliant on, the grid everywhere else.
Well, I think, and I've made this clear, is that one of the challenges that I found with NIPSCO was like, why am I meeting a new CEO every 2 or 3 years? Where is here, these guys are mad at me. We're 102 years old. And I'm like, well, we'll get to it. And we've built a nice strategic plan, and I'm not in any hurry, but it will be stable. It will be bad for a while, and then it'll be really good, but it will be stable. And you switch leadership like that all the time. I've not been a fan of that. So you don't have – I don't know if you can strategic plan when you're there 2 years. I think Parisi's been there 2 years, right? Now, will he be there 10 years? Well, then his plan will be carried out. But the last ones are not doing that.
I think, when you were talking about their storage charges and delivery charges and all this, it doesn't matter. Those things don't make a difference to anyone. You can take the bill and parse it out however you want to. People care about what they pay.
Right? Yes.
So if you're telling me, oh, you bought $100 worth of gas, but it costs us $100 to deliver it to you, the gas really cost me $200. And I think that's part of the problem. From my perspective, is like, oh, we've had the increased cost in this, and our delivery charge is up, and this connection fee, and all that. I don't care.
Well, the
Why
problem,
is it so expensive? Why are we more expensive than everybody else?
To your point, we are more expensive. The caller say, why is it only Northern Indiana? We are more expensive than anyone else in the state, hands down. But to your point, where NIPSCO really stepped in it, that old political saying, if you're explaining, you're losing. And NIPSCO didn't come out with a good enough story. They just let these charges roll out, and
Well, I have to give it to them for explaining it to me. I'm like, all right, I need to know so I can tell people. And he did the interview, and a lot of people have commented on it, and to some extent, that might have contributed to only 30 people being there. It's like, well, I see why that's higher. I guess that's it, right? And he went through each one of those things.
So
I think
one thing that jumps out at me for the electric is the connection fee. It connected me 10 years ago. I paid the fee then. Why am I still paying a connection fee? Once it's hooked up.
I don't know we only did
I
wanted to do gas. I told him that. I'm not going to
I'm not an engineer, but I'm not dumb.
Well,
all right.
Yeah,
I don't know about
want
that.
You to find some
Listen, I want to take
University.
I want to take one more NIPSCO story that we didn't get to talk about. You guys realize what's going down at Schaefer, right?
Yes.
Maybe you can explain this, but NIPSCO did receive the property rezoning it needs for a $5.7 billion expansion of the Schaefer generating station. I worked there years ago as a laborer. The place was huge then, including a 2,600 megawatt combined cycle gas plant, a gas peaker plant, and a data center. Okay, so if I remember right from the interview with Parisi, all of NIPSCO does like 2,400 megawatts. So with this, they needed this from the county down there, the Jasper County. it more than doubles all of their capabilities, right? For data centers mainly, correct?
Right.
So this is the biggest news. I mean, yes, the rally.
And this is going to lower my bill how?
That's all you care about. I knew it.
Seriously, let's be honest. How's it going to lower my bill?
It won't.
It's going to make it go up, isn't it?
Possibly. Is my guess.
Most likely.
I don't see how
I don't know.
go
I'm
up.
kind of a betting man.
Okay, but if they bring these data centers in, all of the amounts of money that is going to be spent is.
Does anybody want to bet me right now for $100 whether my utility bill is more this month next year than it is?
Let me put it this way: the only way, there's only one way that data centers will benefit the ratepayers, and this is how it works: you get data center A, and they are charged a premium for their electric.
But that's not the way it's going.
It's not going that way.
But I'm telling you, that's the only way. That's the only way that it benefits the ratepayers is if they overpay for their electric and somehow it funnels back through the system. But it will never show up as a discount.
Am I mistaken? But aren't they getting a deal rather than paying a premium?
Well, I think that was the goal with this Genco or whatever.
How are you going? All right, but then you have the balance of how are you going to attract them to northern Indiana? I mean, you're talking billions of dollars of investment, not a ton of jobs because they're just big storage facilities. But
once they're done and built, there's
huge amounts of building factors. So here's the rest of it. The Jasper County Commissioners voted unanimously to rezone hundreds of acres of rural land outside the power plant, where Maryville-based NIPSCO plans to retire its natural gas units. So the Peaker project and combined cycle gas plant have been presented to us as an appropriately $5.7 billion investment, says Commissioner Craig Standish. A data center at this point is speculation on the amount of investment it would be. With the rezone acreage for a data center just over 300 acres, it would be fair to assume any project in Jasper County would be approximately half the size of the project. I don't know what that exactly means, but this was not originally approved, right? And then they went through and they got this. So
I want to know where they're getting the $5 billion from. I mean, the company's only worth 18 or 20 billion.
So
are
they?
Is
NIPSCO in the Epstein emails?
Google it.
No, but they did buy a bunch of Grateful Dead tickets.
Yeah, through the mail.
So the question that I asked was, who's going to pay for these build-outs and these expansions? And from what the answer was is that the data center coming in has to pay for the infrastructure they're going to need.
Right.
So it really comes down to what Brent's saying. Nobody really cares except for how much they're paying. That guy was paying $280 last winter. He's gone down 6 degrees. Who puts their house at 74?
Yeah, that's a terrarium. That's...
It's like the only people who do that are like growing weed in their living room.
Yeah.
But he's only at 68. And he's paying, I don't know, almost, let's see, he was at 280, he's at 420, so what's he, 60% higher?
Yeah, and it's tough when you really have to look at your bills and base it on usage because, I say, hey, a year ago I was paying $100 less, but, was I using as much? I don't know. But all I do know is that when the NIPSCO bill comes in, for years it was about $250, $260, and recently it's $350, $360. So.
What about you at the restaurant?
2019, it was in January. It was $2,500. It was $5,200 this year.
More than doubled.
I said the Tri-Town Safety Village we have over there, over by the movie theaters. We have 3 buildings that we keep heated just because of some water lines in there, but we keep them low, like 60 some odd degrees. This is a nonprofit organization. We operate maybe $120,000 a year, keeps that going. Our last NIPSCO bill was $2,900.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys gone to the bathroom yet here?
He's saving money there, man.
I just come over. I live right down the street. I just come over and turn the water. If it's cold, I just turn the water off. This is designed so that we come in and we do the show here in the morning, and then I close the building.
Yeah.
And then if we're going to do the afternoon shows, you do them from your home. That's why that's all. But part of it is the power bill. Can you imagine trying to cool 5,600 square feet when it's 95 degrees out?
So I just used one of those data centers and asked ChatGPT this question. Northern Indiana's residential electric and gas costs are both above the statewide Indiana average and the U.S. average, roughly placing it among the highest costs in the United States.
And there were only 30 people at the demonstration, and 7 news channels.
What if it's cheaper to live in Illinois because our power rates go up?
Oh, wait a second. When does it become?
Oh, we just lost the Bears.
They're like, yeah, you're gonna help us out on the property tax, man, but those utility costs to heat and cool this dome are gonna kill us. We're going to Arlington Heights.
That's it.
Hey, man, thanks to you guys.
There'll be more protesters out there then.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys for coming in. I have some podcasts coming up, so stay. I'll be live. On these,
I got to a couple things real quick.
I want to promo the Super Bowl, okay? At your place.
Yeah. So we actually close about 5:30 because nobody watches the Super Bowl in a bar anymore. But we do a tremendous amount of takeout. We've got a bunch of specials that are on our website. You can order through that. You can call. Bob is sitting here. He's the biggest Doc's Nachos fan. We're doing a Build Your Nachos kit where we give you everything, and you go home and you can put the brisket and the cheese and the chips and set out a nacho bar for your folks. We got some great wing deals, some packages we put together for you. We did a really good business in the last Bears game and in the national championship and the playoffs with these takeout stuff. And last year was a big year for us. So go ahead and get your order in today. I'll be there all day. Give me a call. I'll probably be the one taking your order. So.
What's the number?
I don't know. You have to Google
Wow.
it. Sorry. It's in my phone. I never call it. I mean, hold on. I'll give you
Doc's
the
Barbecue.
You can go to docsbarbecue.net. That's
can you order it online too?
Yeah, you can order online. Pre-order for pickup. You can call us at.
We got a turkey and stuffing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We made our own, but we had more people add on at the end, so we ordered another one from him. And man, was that smoked? It wasn't smoked. I don't know how exactly.
Was that? No, it's smoked turkey.
The turkey smoked? Yeah. So we brine it and then we smoke it.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's Liam's favorite, man.
Yeah. We can my kids, too. They both love the turkey. 219-806-0534.
Okay.
You can call us, and I'll probably be on the phones for a portion of the day today.
God, don't you remember when you were a little kid? All right, learn your phone number.
Yeah.
And little kids that are in first grade go to school, and they know their phone number. Brent Brazier's sitting here.
Yeah.
I should know it, but I don't ever call it. And whenever I need a phone number, I just Google the phone number for anything. I don't.
What do you want to?
I know my wife's phone number. That's about it. Other than that, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I need to talk about Haven House. They've got their big fundraiser coming up. The Bowl-a-thon at the Lanes over in Highland. It is going to be Saturday, February 24th from 6 to 8:30 at the Plaza Lanes in Highland. Strike out for domestic violence. Haven House, always something we've supported here. I think Dave's going to reach out to you. I'm going to donate a gift box, gift basket, and you're going to buy a lane. But $50 to bowl, $40 for a non-bowler, includes drinks, soft drinks, and food. He's got plenty of sponsorship opportunities. You can go to havenhousedvs.org, or also there's an Eventbrite link I'll give to Adriana. She can put up on the website.
Okay.
But Haven House for abused women and children, and I think it's Dave Kierman's a longtime caller, is really a
What's
driving
the date
force
on
behind
this
it.
again?
21st, 2 weeks from Saturday.
All right, and you had an announcement?
I've got one on March 6th. There's a Taste of the Region sponsored by the ladies of the Service League of Northwest Indiana. The premier volunteer organization in the state. That's March 6th at Avalon Manor. We are going to have Donna Barker in tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock on on my show in the morning here, and we're
Donna Barker.
Yeah, we're gonna have her in studio, and we're gonna have a discussion about her event
Did you
coming
tell
up.
her I was going to be here?
No, I did not.
I went to grade school with Donna Barker.
Well, then, if you come in at 7 o'clock
Is it
tomorrow,
the same one?
You and Kuziak went to school with everybody. Y'all know everyone.
Oh, I know.
Donna and Diane Barker. I went to like 9.
I used to golf with that guy at Wicker in '73.
Yeah.
That's
Donna Barker's coming here. I might have to come in. I haven't seen her in years.
So tune in tomorrow morning.
Can I do mine?
Yeah.
I got all
you
this.
need anything tomorrow morning? I'll come in and hang out with you. Yeah. Who's on your show?
Adriana will be here in the morning.
They want to get some youth.
Oh,
okay. And
wait a minute. I used to be the youth. Now I'm the old guy.
You used to be the youth. 20 minutes ago, you were like, I used to decorate envelopes and send them in to get my Grateful Dead tickets for $30. Yeah,
that was in the '90s for sure.
In the late '70s, early '80s, it was $7.50.
Yeah.
Hey, tonight I will be. If I can make it back in time, you guys will hear either the Griffith at Munster boys game or Morgan Township at South Central. We also have 7 other games. If they get really close, I'll go to one of those and just comment on it. It's Ileana at Calumet. It's Highland at Hanover. Hebron at Washington Township. Boone Grove at Wheeler. Hobart at KV. Lake Station at Couts. Or Lowell at Andrain. I will tell you this. We're selling some packages just for the boys sectional. A number of people bought it for the whole sectional. The girls will be tomorrow. Will be at KV and Morgan Township. And you'll be able to, be on those games. But if you want to buy a sectional package, we don't sell that many of them because we get kind of glommed up. But you can email Peter at wjob1230.com and he'll send you out a flyer. Or you can just go to wjob1230.com and there'll be a flyer there. You can actually just put it in if you want to pay $600 or something. It's a great deal. We'll only sell a few of them, so if you want to buy it, do it now. Anything else, guys? All right.
I got nothing.
I have a marketing podcast, 2 of them coming up. Then we got Will Galeros, who doesn't want me on his podcast anymore. So stay where you're at. We'll be right back on the voice and face of the region.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
For a fast and friendly car wash, go to Easy Clean Car Wash. Open 7 days a week in 4 convenient locations: Highland, Griffith, Cherville, and Lansing. Free vacuuming, air freshener, and a towel with every wash. It's fast, safe, and gentle. For more information and hours of all our locations, visit myeasyclean.com. Also, see how you can wash your car daily with our $10 Ultimate Wash for only $19.99 per month. Give your car the best clean at